All right. All right. Feels like it really shouldn't be that way. Why is it more to the right? I guess being more to the right works. What's good, guys? How's everybody doing? This definitely just looks like. This definitely looks like Dun da Dun. That's what it was. Strongest sorcerer, strongest exorcist, a boy chosen by God, was engaged in mortal combat with the Demon Kings. Although he bears the fate of humanity on his shoulders, he actually wants to make sweets peacefully. One day he meets a girl, a love story of hope, growing in the midst of war. Do I sound weird? Alrighty then. Well, that's Asmodeus, the demon lord of lust. Alright. Ah, love thy neighbor. Cool. I watched Stein's stream yesterday and it was an observed durability feat from King Neptune of all characters. What is it? What's the absurd feat? Renge to Naruto. Fascinating. Oh, that's your favorite manga OST? Cool. Ah, manhwa. Already not interested. What up, Beyond Deathcast today is doing Luffy versus Natsu in 20 minutes. Do you guys want to listen to that in the background while I work? I can throw that in the background if you guys want. It's been a few months since the neighborhood Chinese restaurant closed down, and when I stopped by for the first time in a while, I found out that it had been transformed into a flashy, mysterious restaurant with its old signboard still intact. When I went inside, there was a gal. There's a story about a Chinatown restaurant where gals are hospitable. Cool. Okay, I'm cool with that. It's been a few months since the neighborhood restaurant been transformed into a tacky, mysterious restaurant. Ah, okay. Okay. Welcome. Grab a seat anywhere you'd like. Yeah, some water. This is our menu. Just give us a call. She's staying put. Her eyes are huge. They're 3 times bigger than mine. Now it's time to start up. Okay. I'll get the curry combo. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Not to mention half ramen, chashu men, curry combo, gyoza. There's this menu, cup size with an animal printer not exactly conforming. Cool. Splash, okay. A huge flame shoot up. Weird. Ever recall make curry? This can't be right. She's making it. Thank you. Here's our special fried curry. Enjoy. Actually, I ordered was curry though. Sorry, no shred of guilt. Wait, some there's light emanating from her. She's staying put again, and I'll act like don't look up, focus. I know, first time he's here. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's delicious. I'll wrap up. Changed my life. Is it good? Damn, she's close. This is fried right, and yet it tastes like curry. Cause I added curry row. Curry row. It's a nearby box. I was like, why not? Why not? Oh, this is bad. Curry rice, huh? It tastes good. I forgot to serve the soup. There she goes again. I'm glad Miraku can ramen. I did pay, didn't I? Excuse me, I did. Could it be that the food was great? Yep, that was the right answer. Later, she's still waving her hand, waiting on the light. She's still waving her hand. Okay. Well, this is a little etchy, sure, but it is kind of cute. Sure. Alright. I don't like the character faces. Usually death casts are an hour and it'll give you some time to work on editing during that time. I'm down to listen to it. I've never listened to a death cast before. So what the fuck? Alright. Death battle, right? Yeah, we can listen to it. I don't personally care. Hordy shoots Neptune's attack that pierced all those coral mountains and it doesn't pierce Neptune. Yeah. That did happen. Yeah, that's true. It doesn't pierce Neptune. I just had the worst morning of all time. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry to hear that. We'll leave it up and then we'll have it there. Just gonna check out a couple things. Moimon Zero Games. What's this about? Yohanra. Wait, it's Manhwa. I'm already over it. Yeah, they're doing Luffy versus Natsu. What's this one? Hazure Hante Kara blah 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 blah. Hajimata. One day, all the 8th graders were transferred into a world. The princes of the world summoned them to make up for their lack of strength. The students are threatened and decide to follow the princess. They are made to take magical power tests to determine their abilities, while everyone sorted according to the results. Kokuban Kento's result is a flop. Judged as useless. He is expelled. However, there is an actually tremendous ability lurking within Kento. The life-size 8th grader Kento, together with his fellow skeletons, aims to rescue his class. Life as a cheat magician that began with a false judgment. What the fuck? Oh, I don't think I can actually watch this. Okay, I don't think I can actually check this out online. Yeah. Yeah, you know what? Let's not. It's this one. Kai, who was reincarnated into a different world, thrown away by the corrupt church into an isolated island full of dangerous demons. The key to survive on the island is Kai's cheat ability to summon a different world's item that Kai only used in. With this ability, Kai built a pioneering village. Kai's survival and fate of the national life. Yeah, okay. I'm over it. Hey, what's up, Luke? What's up, man? Did you read Kaiju number 8? I liked the first season, man. I really did like the first season. Kaiju number 8 had a really good first season. I could check it out. I could check it out. I did think about looking into that manga at one point. Someone dropped milk on my clothes and I had to go home and change clothes. That's unfortunate, dude. I mean, at least you got some time out of class, right? Lore accurate Neptune solos the One Piece verse, and why don't you try manhwas? Some manhwas are great, peakest ever. It's not about the writing for me. It's just that I don't like the paneling for the manhwas, and in my opinion, manhwa paneling is just a bunch of wasted ass fucking space. I don't like having to scroll down because otherwise, if I try to read it like how I normally do by just clicking on the pages, I don't like having to scroll down instead of just clicking. It feels annoying. It's very, like, minute, not important things whatsoever that do ultimately affect my... So I got detention for being late when I was all literally checked out. Yeah, that's fucking stupid then. Can't you, like, appeal that or something? Can't you just appeal that something, Tamari? I would probably talk to my parent or something about that. I'd be like, yo, they gave me detention because, oh, somebody spilled milk on my clothes and they checked me out to let me go home to change, but when I came back, they gave me detention. Like, no, fuck that. It's not on you. I finished the manga a long time ago and read it weekly until it's ending. Yeah, Kaiju number 8 was pretty damn good. I think it's very short, right? It's only like 120 something chapters. A prodigy of science and solitary genius, yet terrible at so many things. Poor university student Sanosuke Saraki unexpectedly reunites with his admired genius classmate Koharu Kobachi. I'm assuming that's her. At this part-time job back at his old school. Start Infinite Mages, you'll change your mind. Infinite Mage. Damn. Wait, is that... Oh, yeah, Koharu Kobachi. Yeah. Even though everyone's growing up, I'm the only one who hasn't changed at all. Life is like riding a bicycle. To keep balance, you must keep moving. The quote, huh? You must keep moving. This is so peak. All right, I don't care. This is boring. Yeah, this is boring. What's this one? All right. Yeah, let's just not. Let's just not. Moimon. A mysterious creature that suddenly appeared are Moimon, a charming exterior balanced against an inherent savagery and tough bodies. At first glance, it appeared that humanity had finally established a master-servant relationship with them through training, but as newfound ferocity spread through wild Moimon, the continued survival of the human race is into question. Kakaru is a boy from a warrior tribe that survives by hunting Moimon. Shimizu is a girl dreaming of adventure. Together, they set off to gather clues to stop the ferocious mutation of these creatures. And so rises the curtain on a new and exciting monster battle action series featuring bizarre creatures called Moimon and a boy who hunts them. Sure. Is the boy that guy? What the fuck? Cool. We're done for. Creatures with no relationships to existing species appeared out of nowhere one day. Despite their charming appearance, they were full of savagery. Humans couldn't compete with their sturdy bodies and elemental traits. In a flash, they dominated land, air, and sea, leading humanity's civilization. Through training, they succeeded in building a relationship with master and creature, and fighting slowly recognized. Yeah. Eventually developed a pastime, having fight one another. There's a term for these as Moimon. Okay. They've always been vicious. In any case, this guy could feed the village. Oh, so this is the guy. They're probably the weakest monsters ever. They build shoddy huts. Have you read Tomodachi Games? Read it, its peak. Sure, I'll check out some stuff while you guys are on it. We're not looking for anything right now. I'm just taking some time while I'm fucking around while, I'm just taking some time right now. Sorry, my head's still out of things real quick. I figured, like, let me just check out and see if there's some mangas that are probably worth, like, trying to get into. You should read Hell's Paradise. You will love Bochu Jutsu. I will. Not I will. I'll check it out real quick. So wait, what were the... You said Infinite Mage. Let's check out Infinite Mage real quick. Infinite Mage. Sure. Damn it. Sure. At least it's not too much wasted space. Weasel is bad for news trying to steal them. You shouldn't pick a hunter's cabin. Must not be an average robber. Sidestep all my traps so silently he can't feel my ears. He'll be dead before he knows it, huh? There's no one here. The hallucination ever found out we can't bear children. Ever since we found out we can't bear children, I keep hearing them, huh? What? What is this? But what's wrong, Vincent? What's with all the... Oh, Lena, you're awake. Vincent, is that a baby? No, I mean, I don't know how to say this. I think he's ours. Ugh. Dude, I'm not scrolling down to read this bullshit. This looks... Why is there so much empty space? Fuck. No, I'm not doing this, dude. I don't like empty space. Fuck. Feels like such a waste of fucking time and energy. Yeah, Tomodachi Games. Let me check that one out. Tomodachi Games. Katagiri Yuichi believes that friends are more important than money, but he also knows the hardships of not having enough funds. He works hard to save up in order to go on the high school trip. Before he promised his 4 best friends they will all go together. However, after the classes, money is all collected and is stolen. Suspicion falls on 2 of Yoichi's friends. Okay. Soon afterwards, the 5 of them are kidnapped, wake up in a strange room with a short-lived anime. Apparently one of them has entered them into a friendship game in order to take care of the massive debt, but who was it? Why did they have such a massive debt? Could they have stolen the money from class to pay the entry for the game? Katagiri and his best friend will succeed in the psychological games and tests and destroy their faith. Oh, great, sure. It's a shonen. Masakazu Shibe. Hopefully, surely this isn't a major spoiler that I accidentally clicked on, right? Surely. Survive in 2 weeks. Friends. Well, the art style is clearly crazy. Yuichi Katagiri. Yeah. He's working hard. Good luck then. Yoichi, my dad will lend it to you if you just asked. Don't say it like that. Yoichi's not a charity case. We're friends, so we'll all be equals. Besides, you always do that. You always act like you're superior when your father's a city council member, but that's it. But that's still... Yeah. Makoto Shibe, he's the class president. He's good at sports. On top of that, he comes from a wealthy family. So far, he sounds perfect, right? However, he's an airhead who's just thoughtless things, so he's not as popular with the girls nonetheless. Hey, Luke Gotcha, thank you so much for becoming a member. Holy shit. See, I think Kizaru Solo's the Mob Psycho verse. Does he really? I don't know about Mob Psycho that much. Is also known as a friends game, letting you know the MC's better than Classroom of the Elite MC. Hopefully you rate it. I haven't read Classroom of the Elite, so I wouldn't know, but sure. Don't get into SCD. It's not worth it. What's SCD? I wasn't even worried. Shiho, she's our class vice president, but she's often referred to as the real president. She's raised strictly by her father, who is a police officer, so she hates crooked things. She's also good at fighting, and she's reliable in many ways. He's a genius and top of our grades. He's only smart. But he's also good at communicating. At a glance, he may look unfriendly, but no one, including the teachers, has ever said bad things about him. He's always acted as a mediator. She doesn't speak much, but she's very nice, and she's fond of anime. It seems she got bullied in her first year. Sawaragi is in the class now, so no one dares to bully her anymore. I became friends with her through Sawaragi. Thanks, guys. Friends will always be, and will always be, at least that's what I thought. I have some bad news. The roughly 2 million yen was stolen. How much? That's 20,000 US dollars. Showing the culprits from this class. We might not be able to tell. I'm sorry, everyone. It was my fault. I was in charge of collecting the money and handing it over. It should be giving. However, due to the circumstances, I had to leave it in locker for a bit, and it locked for a few minutes. I'll take responsibility for as long as possible. Away in the classroom after school, as long as possible. Yeah. You're late, Yuichi, boom. Yuichi, hey, stop. What are you doing, my friends? Yuichi-kun, Yuichi. What the fuck? Okay. Who is he? The character appeared last night despite his cute face. He appeared with the concept required extreme, so I got cancelled. It doesn't look like I don't need to introduce myself after all. I'm going to explain the game. Super easy game. You can make money through it, and you can clear the 2 million. Also, but that way you'll be able to clear about $2 million worth of debt in no time. What do you mean by that? A debt of 20 million yen? Do you personal question about your scaling? What feats and statements in the Boruto made you have it at planetary? Well, Boruto states that the Uzuhiko can like blow up the planet, and Jura is stronger than Boruto. So it's that simple. It must be the death of one of theirs. They're the ones who wish to participate in this game. Don't be done with your business. 2 million to be exact. Will be yeah. That are your friends, yeah. Will be a game, Kozakuri, the amount. Because I know more than anyone here how dreadful money can be. Wait. Hold on. Oh, come on. Okay. Begin with the first game. The highest amount, it's easy. We got this. The answer is yes. Now push the coin. If you're there, please tell us. We don't know the real horror of the game, because however, it wasn't surprised as a result of everyone, because I knew more than anyone just how dreadful money can be. No. Your answer to question number 1 is incorrect. The answer is yes. If you speak about the amount of your debt will be doubled. What's the meaning of this? The question of Mount Fuji is the highest mountain in Japan. The answer everyone knows. No way to get wrong. The only thing the organization was meddling in the coin time. Okay, I'm kind of over this for now. This whole like psychological stuff. Not really in the mood to read it. I'm just kind of killing time until we get this death battle thing going. Okay, I'm not gonna try to keep this boring for you guys anymore. Let's actually get to do some work. Sorry about that. We'll have the death battle cast in the background. Versus Battle Wiki puts Natsu at Universal, trying to figure out why Why planet level? I get Naruto Universal seems iffy. Okay. Natsu is so overkill. You think so? I don't know. I don't personally know that much about Fairy Tail to speak on whether or not Natsu is that powerful. Or a threat to the whole planet. Haki is destroying beings like Musika. So far, I'm aware Luffy's Gear 5 still has a big drawback in time and energy, so maybe that'll be helpful for Natsu. I'm not a One Piece fan, so I'll take it with a grain of salt, but I've seen, from what I'm super convinced I've been seeing, should be stronger, even accounting the One Piece world size. So unstoppable object meets immovable force. So speed delves into the regions of reaction time, pacing. Luffy's technically have both. It's better. It's another Mardox. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Uzuhiko uses planetary spin to attack. Yeah. Boruto is relevant. That's interesting. The planetary spin of the Uzuhiko is calced to planetary. Naruto stated directly to be able to destroy a planet. Yeah. I love the part in Eon's title when he said, I'm streaming it, and streamed all over the place. Is the right? Did I type up the title of the video, the thing as well? Did I? Okay, yeah, it is. Just making sure I typed it in right. Sorry about that. Okay, so back to this. Let me see what you guys are saying. Natsu is literally Universal Plus to low complex multiversal. Okay. It's only fun when characters are close to each other in stats. For example, Baku and Hal. I don't know who they are. He one-shots with his fingers, sure, but someday you should finish it. It's not too big, but gosh, it's just catchy, good, and interesting. I got you. I'll be real, from what I can tell, AP-wise, they are very much even, but the speed difference is what matters. Same, I don't know enough about Dragon Boy to even be able to say anything. Yeah, that's why I never say anything. Uni Naruto is terrible. Most people go with multi-solar. Yeah, but the multi-solar system stuff is also terrible, because it's basically equating the idea that, like, because Kaguya has a singular jutsu that can wipe out, quote-unquote, a star, according to what people say, even though that star comes as a byproduct of a ninjutsu. It's then this concept or idea that, for whatever reason, Momoshiki's punches, Ishiki's kicks, and, like, those rods, Naruto's Rasengan, all now must also be star level. I don't know. I don't personally agree with the multi-solar system or solar system stuff. Is, I think, the best because multi assumes all of Kaguya's dimensions are parallel to the dimension with the sun. Maybe, but that doesn't inherently mean that the character's attack potency scales to it, because the ETSO is just going to wipe out a singular dimension that was the root of all the other dimensions. So when they said that it was going to be the time for a new time space, it's because they're wiping out the root dimension. I don't know. I don't personally agree with that line of logic. I don't think that a person's punches scale to a TSO per se, but I mean, there's different interpretations for it, and I honestly think that, like, solar system is obviously way less fucking egregious than something like... I can at least, like, wrap my head around the idea of, like, a person believing that their solar system, but, like, yeah, that's creation feats as well, yeah. I mean, I think it's still a better meta than, like, Universal Naruto. To be fair, though, it's like with the whole, like, One Piece Universal stuff, where it's like, oh, because of Mont Dor being capable of creating an infinite number of books, and their books having their own, like, time spaces in them or whatever, or, like, the pages inside the book having, like, their own time spaces, then apparently these characters have to be that. That means that, like, Luffy and everybody else that scales above Mont Dor must be, like, Universal or something, which honestly I don't agree with, but I think it's, I don't know. I mean, I think of it in scale. Her ETSO, since she was creating her chakra, and she used the Shinobi Line chakra to put chakra into it, and it was stated she was getting stronger. Yeah, but that doesn't, none of it inherently equates to the solar system. Like, the chakra of the entire alliance isn't enough for me to sit here and believe that, like, any of that would even remotely be possible. Right? Like, I don't know. I think it's I think it's at least. May I know your thinking on the immovable object versus unstoppable force, perchance? I mean, it's two directly opposing forces that seem to exist within this concept of absolutes. You know, unmovable object, unstoppable force. It's just one of those cases where, like, as far as interpretation goes, it's meant to be almost like a Schrodinger's cat in terms of, like, an argument, right? Where it's like, it can be one until we see an immovable force or an immovable object or an unstoppable force collide with each other. We don't really know. We can't really like know or argue which of them will technically supersede the other, right? It's one of those cases where like it's either both are true, none are true, or one has to be true, right? It's like in this endless limbo. Whitebeard has a multi-continental feat. Probably. I find this to be such a weird... I find it to be such like a weird fight that they want to talk about, though.
Whoa, hey, guys, guess what?
All right.
What time, Ben?
I'm so ready.
Oh,
God damn it! I did it anyways.
We're always supposed to get up when we say
Yes.
January.
No.
It is.
Got him.
Yeah. It is the
Yeah.
final episode of Bananuary, maybe ever, because I don't know how successful this was.
Not.
We will never financially recover from
We won't.
Bananuary.
No, we won't.
And naturally, we are wrapping Bananuary up with a battle between two apes, monkeys, monkey-like figures that are iconically,
Iconically,
Yeah.
importantly, very, very much monkeys. Monkey D. Luffy and Natsu.
What makes
He's not a
Natsu a
monkey.
monkey?
Neil.
Or
That's a
he's
good
an
joke.
His name is
orangutan,
Monk
or has a tail, or
Or felt
yeah.
across the planet,
He's
which
half
should be
monkey.
multi-continental feet.
Yeah.
Sure.
is he?
Oh well,
I thought
as
No,
much
no,
as
I'm
we
sorry.
are.
Dragon's part monkey.
You know,
Yeah.
in some corners of the
All
world.
right. Yeah. You should really
Yes,
stop with that. I
naturally,
see you,
the
bro.
entire
I see you.
point of this entire thing is one of them has monkey in their name. What do you know?
So yeah, quite excited to see the animation.
Perfect.
Yeah, we are gonna be getting into Monkey versus Monkey D. Luffy.
See, it's
versus
more
Natsu
hacks for
Dragoneel,
Whitebeard, but you're not
as
wrong.
our,
I found a
master
statement somewhere that
program.
like.
But welcome to Death Battle Cast.
Let me see if I can
We're excited
upload
have
it
you
to
watching
the
this
to the
live. We do
Discord
this live
server. I'll upload it
every
and you guys can
single
see it.
Tuesday at noon Central. And the way this works is Liam is going to be representing Luffy, Sam is going to be representing Natsu, and it's their job to convince you, watching this live right now, that their character should win in a death battle. And at the end of the show, if you're watching this live, you'll be able to vote on who you think should win. Mystic Master, you got a super chat saying, shouldn't it be April for this month? We've been over this.
It's
over
Bananuary in
this.
April.
It has been January.
April
Yeah,
isn't a pun.
April is just what the month is called.
just-
Obviously,
it's
we
what the
can't
month
call
is
April
called.
April. Yeah.
Bananuary combines January and banana.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Exactly.
Thank
Not
you
at
for the
all about us
explanation.
forgetting to do this in January.
I just feel like some people don't understand. You know,
We didn't forget to do this in January. This is the Bananuary month.
this is a long
Obviously.
January.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both Michael and Gilded gifted out 5 memberships. Thank you so much. If y'all get a membership, check out the membership content and join us for our post show after this.
Yeah.
And then 10 Tails being 10 Tails with the $100 super chat says, whoever's doing Natsu, please convince me that he has a chance to defeat Luffy, because in my mind, all I can think is Luffy just laughing at Natsu's attempts to fire and lightning against his Looney Tunes power, and can't wait for versus Megamind. Thank you, 10 Tails.
That is a good description of what will happen in this fight, in my opinion.
Well, Thor G
Uh,
with the super chat said they're here to support their boy Natsu. So
Natsu.
you got one already, Sam.
Natsu.
Perfect.
Nasty.
Yeah, nasty Natsu. Also, Sean Chan
Let's not
in
call
chat
that.
does mention that I'd argue dragons and monkeys are related somewhere in the genetic pool. So I think we're
Sure.
good.
I mean, like in a literal sense, they at least like sponges, right? Like they are related that way. Like sea sponges is like the first like animal. So like on the evolutionary,
Bill
like, the
Cipher
first one that
Solos?
counts as an animal. So
You don't
so,
like Death
yeah,
Battle?
technically
All
they
right,
are related,
that's fair.
just very distantly. And also dragons aren't real. but
Liam,
lizards are real.
Dragons
Wait,
aren't real.
What? They're not.
Did you not know this?
News to
I
me.
knew this.
I'm
just
sorry for
saying.
ruining your day. Dragons don't exist.
Komodo dragon. Komodo dragons are real.
I don't think Natsu is a Komodo dragon.
Yeah, well, Natsu's a stupid.
No, he's more
Well,
of a
okay.
dragon.
Well, let's
actually.
get into it. Thank you, Bud Pie, for gifting out a membership.
All right.
Let's do this. I'm
Jesus
excited.
Christ.
Maybe throughout our analysis, we will discover whether or not Natsu is indeed a.
Wouldn't it be a
Komodo
salamander?
dragon.
Wouldn't it be a
All right,
salamander?
Liam,
Whatever.
let's
Yeah.
start with you. Give us the rundown on Luffy.
Monkey D. Luffy, or as Austin in our meeting yesterday called him, Luffy D. Monkey, is going to be king of the pirates. He is the son of Monkey D. Dragon, the grandson of Monkey D. Garp.
Is any of this like really important?
He is the essentially.
I guess they do this thing where like they
reincarnation of
start
the sun
up
god Nika of Joy Boy,
where they start like
who is going
giving
to,
like
like,
an introduction to the characters.
bring salvation to the land and overcome the like horribly oppressive world government that's been ruling for the last what's like 700 800 years.
Yeah, this is.
He even before like
You know
essentially
what? I'd
fully manifesting as, like, a
rather.
demigod,
What I find
he,
rather peculiar
was growing
when you
to
scale a
become,
cartoon is that
like,
you
one of the
just
four
somehow,
emperors of
without
the sea,
fail, they're supposed to be
one of the
top
most powerful
tier, just
beings
gets
in the
dogged
world.
on.
A worthy
Yeah,
candidate.
this is
for
just
King of the Pirates
padding.
with
This
an
is just
insanely
100%
powerful devil
padding.
fruit, crazy powerful hockey, and just
Yeah, this
way
is padding.
more, a lot of,
100%
like,
that's the
direct
word.
counters to
You're
what Natsu
100%
has.
right.
So I think he's more than capable.
Well, if he's a sun god and therefore I can beat him
murdering
at
Natsu
night,
today.
that's reasonable.
Ben's muted.
Yeah, no, I think Ben was we had a mild panic behind the scenes as I realized I didn't have the sneak peek, but I do now have the sneak peek for everybody here later in the episode. we fixed it. If I looked distracted for a moment, it was fixing that issue. But anyways, yeah, I guess I should talk about Natsu Dragneel. He's a boy dragon in the epitome of the power of friendship animes, right? And he doesn't really need his friends because he's also like the most powerful guy in the whole show. It's hard to kind of talk about it without going into
By
a
the
lot of
way, I found
spoilers.
this
I don't think we
skin
care about
earlier.
that,
I
but
found it on Facebook. I
he's
couldn't
got
know.
big
I still
fire
haven't
powers,
figured
he's
out
got
where the
big
fuck this
lightning
is from,
powers.
but it says
He also eats fire.
abilities that
Um,
evolve over 10 years of training.
I
Devil
kinda
Fruit's
wonder,
abilities
'cause
become as
because
strong
of
as one
what he
trains them.
does,
Luffy's Gum Gum
Where
moves
does this
are
fight assumably take
going
place,
to evolve more and more. So
I mean,
I
on an
guess that
island,
does
like, it's
kind of
just
imply
thematically
that
appropriate,
Devil
you
Fruits
know,
do scale
take
to the
place on an
user.
island.
How
With
big
a
of an island?
volcano.
With a volcano, sure, we could do a volcano.
You don't think it's
I'm-
padding?
I'm
I think it's
curious.
padding, dude. I don't know who the fuck doesn't know that Luffy is.
Well, my thought here is that
Granted, I guess a lot of people just don't like One
Natsu
Piece, so
just
sure.
blows the island away. And then Luffy's in the water. What now?
Luffy blows the fucking planet away.
What the fuck are we talking?
Um,
Okay, sure.
Luffy can fly in Gear 5.
Yeah.
He can like run on the air. So it's irrelevant.
Okay.
So the pulling the rug out from under him strategy, I guess, is already shot down.
Yeah, I feel like I'm at a disadvantage because I don't know very much about One Piece at all. And Luffy is
what Sam
Rubber Man.
does.
It's
Yeah,
like
well,
muscles,
no,
you have to
it's-
train it
it's
to
a
be
different
effective.
strategy.
Devil
You
Fruits, I
have
mean. I don't know
scumbag
how One
strategies
Piece
of
is
your own. I have
no,
my own.
but considering the
It's fine.
NBA
Don't worry
has him
about
and the
it.
crew as mascots, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. It's like maybe for
it's what I
Natsu,
do.
but I don't know, man.
I think you need to
Stretch.
tell us more. So he's
Okay,
a
I can
rubber
absolutely
man,
tell us
and
more.
fire
Yeah.
melts rubber. That's where I am, and so you got to convince me now.
Well, it's actually funny that you say that because Luffy's brother Ace was the fire guy. He had the
Yes.
fire fruit, and as part of his inspiration, when his brother dies, gets fucking owned by Lava Dude, whose name I'm blanking on right now. He develops an attack called Red Hawk, which catches his own fist on fire to punch you with fire. Now,
Mhm.
obviously, it's not going to matter against Natsu because Natsu is immune to fire and eats it.
He'll eat it.
But the point is that like Luffy's body is highly, highly resistant to fire. Right? You literally need like intense heat to create rubber. Ice is the more of a hassle for Luffy, even though he still has ways around that by doing Red Hawk. And furthermore, like when I'll get into gears later, but like Gear 4 Bound Man, is super resistant to heat and fire and lava, right? He developed that partially in response to Akainu. Akainu. To like resist his attacks in whenever they fought in the future. So fire's just not going to do much to Luffy because of his rubber nature.
What about lightning?
Well,
He's
here's the thing
actually
about rubber.
completely immune.
Also, okay, in the Skypiea arc, there's a villain called Enel, and Enel is a god because he has the lightning fruit.
Bro,
and he can
that
essentially
pronunciation
make
is
himself,
funny,
like,
Enel.
intangible because he's Logia fruit. He can turn into lightning and shoot
Alright.
you with lightning. Because of that, he's basically a god, like just like smiting people from the sky. He kicks everybody's ass with one single hit. Like he one taps like Zoro. He kicks everybody's ass. Gets to Luffy, blasts Luffy in the face with lightning. Luffy is completely fine. Does it again. Luffy's completely fine. And then he realizes, and there's this iconic shot of Enel's face, like his jaw drop, like, where he realizes that he's met the only person on Earth that is completely immune to lightning because he has the rubber fruit. So Luffy is completely immune to lightning. Now Enel is still able to use lightning in different ways to hurt Luffy. Like he's able to like weld this like spear, like uses lightning to like super heat a spear. This is before Luffy developed his resistance to heat. So he's able to like burn Luffy with that.
Check your rolls
but,
on the
he still
second
gets his ass
server.
kicked to the end. And Luffy is completely resistant to lightning.
Yeah,
That's what I'm gonna say.
You want me to check?
I understand he's resistant to fire, but that doesn't mean like immune to it. And I do think that there's pretty decent arguments that Natsu is probably
What do you mean?
putting out hotter and more potent
if you hit him
flames.
with a big
than
bang,
anything.
like, he's gonna die.
Yeah.
It's a resistance thing. Well, we can get into like the degrees as we get
Yeah,
further into
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
You said
Night
check
Ghost
the
gifted out
rolls?
Membership, their one special membership. Thank you, Night Ghost. Little Z-Bot with $20 super chat says, "Hey, I can't watch today, but I love this matchup, and I want to clarify: hockey, if you're strong-willed enough, cancels more powers than just Devil Fruit. We see it from time to time. Devil Fruit are just the most common source of powers in One Piece." Thank you, Z-Bot.
Right. I forgot about that.
All right, 6.
So-
No,
Drop
it's
in back
fine.
For some help with Liam.
Yeah, I do know that it does. Oh, that's right. That I think that is what they're talking about. Yeah, hockey does impair regenerative healing factors. Like they fight the Saints or whoever in not Elbaf. Well, Elbaf and
Only in Elbaf.
the tech one that's right, Egghead. They fight him in Egghead, and Luffy's hockey is able to like prevent them from regenerating, even though they're like made of like darkness, evil shit.
That's
they're like,
not
"Oh, my
entirely
darkness-"
true. That's not entirely true. That's not true. Luffy didn't hurt anyone in Egghead. He couldn't even hurt the Gorosei. That's objectively not true.
Yeah.
Well, Natsu's fire and lightning and everything, like.
Yeah. Shit isn't working. I'm so screwed. Yeah.
Well, Natsu's fire and lightning and everything, like. Is it a little bit different in this sense because it's like magic dragon fire?
Yeah.
Like, is that gonna play a factor here?
That's another me being like pretty out on One Piece. Do they deal with people that are like strictly like this is wizard magic shit?
Okay. It might be a case of like a debate over verse equalization because, as I recall from Fairy Tale,
What's up?
It is a sort of like
How's it
general
going?
magic.
Somebody
key-
wanted to check
like
out
magic comes from
the
like
Luffy
key,
versus
sort of like,
Natsu
life energy stuff. It's called like
Death Battle cast,
it's
so
like-
we're
it's
just
like-
here.
magic key or something like the version of that. I
Yeah.
could be wrong.
Let me know if you guys
want
want to just switch over to like me just editing at some point, because I'm just
As for
listening to
Devil
these
Fruits,
guys at this
Devil
point. I'm not really
Fruits-
doing much.
So there's hockey, which is just key. It has it in the name. There's so the Devil Fruits are their origin is we're still figuring it out, but it has been revealed that they are like the dreams and imaginations of humanity, like manifested into like physical objects. So it's like I wish I could stretch my body and be rubbery. I wish
Please,
that I could
editing.
shoot flames. Like,
If you
that's
guys
sort
want
of
to
the origin.
see
Now,
editing
what that means
instead,
beyond
I'm
what I
down
just
for
said,
it. Let me
you
know.
know,
I'm gonna put up a
that's
quick
very
poll real quick.
Vague. We're gonna get like a 3,000 chapter flashback, I'm sure, where we see the entire history of the universe. Oda's building up to the big
Yeah.
one. I can
Well-
feel it coming.
The piece, finally, it comes. That's kind of, I think, why
How
people.
long have we been in the final arc for One Piece? 'Cause
We're not in
It
the
started
final. We're
well.
not in the final arc.
We're about to get
we
to
said
it.
a couple years ago we're in the end game, which is
Oh, that's what I'm
is
thinking of,
true.
yeah.
We literally just met the bad guy.
Yeah,
met,
they're
we
just
met
yapping.
the dude that did all this
Right.
shit. Presumably.
The problem with like doing editing in the background is that I have to be able to know what the hell's up next. I'm sure some would I can't have that in the background and also do this. You have any opinion on what you're watching? My opinion is that some of the information this guy's already providing is a little off, and nothing crazy. He's saying that, like, you know, Luffy has the power to stop regeneration, but he mentioned Egghead, but Luffy never really does that in Egghead. It only makes me think that, like, you know, there might be a couple of things that are going to be off for these dudes. Not to say that that's, like, a massive issue. I don't think I care that much either. It's like, oh, no, he got something for Luffy wrong. I don't care that much either. I just noticed that it was something that's slightly off, which makes me think other information can potentially be off as well. Other information might be off as well. We at the Drake Corp expect more contentanium of late from the manga mind, so pretty please focus on work, but not do whatever you like, Eon. I appreciate that, Drake. Guys, can we get some W's for Drake, please? Some W's for Drake. Also, earlier today, it seems you guys just want me to do... Actually, I think that's everyone in the fucking stream. Yeah, I know that... Wait, there are 23 viewers right now? Why the fuck do we have 23 right now? I thought we only had like 10. Whatever. Sure, it seems you guys might want to... I mean, it's a live stream. There might be some confusion in the moment. Yeah, that's why. Also, real quick, I found a scan that says abilities that evolve over 10 years training. Devil's Fruit abilities become as strong as one trains them. Luffy's Gomu Gomu moves are going to evolve more and more. Though I'm not the biggest fan of data books, this one does imply that Luffy does, you know... Luffy, and I guess by sheer nature, other Devil Fruits also grow with the user. So I guess Whitebeard would technically be planetary based on... Now would be more confirmed to be planetary based off of the destroy the world statement from Sengoku. But again, that's all based on whether or not you think the interpretation falls under lines of... chapter 200, you said? Okay, sure. One Piece, right? Yeah, so I guess it would fall under fair assumption that now Whitebeard can also be planetary if you think that the statement means Sekai as in world and not just, you know, society. But that's neither here nor there. So what is Death Battle casting this stream for? Natsu versus Luffy. Why Natsu? I guess it's because Luffy has a singular fire attack. Or I guess a singular fire attack plus a bigger hit that's also fire. So yeah, do with that information what you will. You know what? I'm just doing it like this. I'm not waiting for that thing to load. There we go. You said 200 page 10? Sure. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, no, we were already aware of this. Whoa, hold on. Jeff, we were already aware of this, but we've had people before say that it might not inherently mean that, so now we have, you know, now we have more confirmation. Oh, it's chapter 790, last sentence, 790, thank you. Last sentence, 790. This is really fucking sick. This is really sick. Wait, hold on. Okay, yeah, it is. Ooh, I might actually turn this one into a thumbnail. I really like this. Wait, no. One Piece. Covers. We already have it. Sweet. You said last sentence? There are indeed a higher powered version of others, but at present it's only these 4. There are some fruits which might be related, but in those cases, the fruits are the rules that determine their powers work in slightly different ways. Also, the strength of fruit does not correlate with the character strength. You never know how every fight will turn out. Of powers does not correlate. Well, I guess it's 2 contradicting fucking content. Well, not to be petty, but growing with the user, improving, doesn't necessarily mean that it scales to the user's physical stats. abilities become as strong as one trains them. It's not about it doesn't specify as strong as physical. It doesn't mean that they scale to physical strength. It means that right here, become as strong as one trains them. I don't think that necessarily applies to just physical strength. Because it's not like Luffy was just working out physical strength. I guess fruits get trained on their own. I guess this can also more so means that the strength of the fruit doesn't necessarily correlate to the power of the user, more so meaning that like the power of the base fruit. But again, it's up to interpretation. I don't know. There's two statements that say it is. There's one statement that says no. I'm gonna just go with the statements that are probably more consistent. Yeah. I'm not saying that it's necessarily the physical strength. I'm just saying right here is Devil Fruit's abilities become as strong as one trains them, which just means, I guess, like, listen, in the most literal interpretation you can take it as, it literally just means if you train your fruit, if you strengthen your Devil Fruit, it becomes more powerful. It becomes as powerful as the amount of effort you put into training it. As you scale for Fruit's powers and another character's powers. As in, you have a scale for Fruit's powers and another for characters. I mean, it makes sense, right? It makes sense because there's a power of the Devil Fruit and then there's the power of the user, right? Hold on. Give me 1 second, right? So, we know that for a Devil Fruit awakening to occur, you have to... Your mind and body have to catch up to the fruit. So your mind and body physically must catch up to the Devil Fruit in order for you to gain the full extent of its power, right? Its awakening. He says right here, is it just me or are the Devil Fruit's powers of the officers on Doflamingo sides all powered up versions of the Baroque works? There are indeed high powered versions of others, but at present it's only these four. There are some other fruits which might seem to be related, but in those cases, the rules that determine their powers work in slightly different ways. Also, the strength of powers does not correlate to character strength. You never know how a fight will turn out. I guess it just means necessarily like the strength of a Devil Fruit may not necessarily equate to the strength that a person is currently using it at. You can interpret it as that. I mean, I think it's also kind of fair. Considering that, like, again, because you have to basically have your body and mind catch up to your Devil Fruit in the first place, which means your body and your mind has to catch up to whatever ideology the fruit must inherently hold, and your body must be able to physically withstand the force of the fruit or the power behind the fruit, or maybe it must have a bare minimum requirement that it needs to reach first before it can even utilize it. I mean, look at Luffy's Devil Fruit. I guess this statement does make sense, and it doesn't necessarily mean that it inherently contradicts this statement right here that says Devil Fruit's abilities become as strong as one trains them, right? Because you can also argue that, for example, a person that just gets their Devil Fruit wouldn't be as powerful, or the Devil Fruit itself wouldn't correlate to having as much power as if the person actually went out of their way to train it. I mean, I think it's fine. Also, what I mean is, what does the Death Battle do in a casting stream? I don't know. They're just here padding it up, yapping it up about which of the characters are doing, who they are, what the fuck they're on, all that crap.
From at this exact moment.
The fuck did he say?
Years ago. So I would just say 5 years from at this exact moment. But yeah, we met him,
Shots fired.
and presumably, somewhat anticlimactically, in my opinion. But yeah, we met him,
Shots fired.
and so he said this, the Marijoa, which is where the plus hockey, where he surrounds his body in hockey, turn into Hercules, or I turn into Buddha, which is one of the characters. Just makes him way.
I see.
Yeah.
He's
Okay.
able to eat pretty
Okay.
much any element in magic when that.
Okay, yeah. They're just trying to explain what the characters are. They're trying to go, your video is incorrect. And why? And which video would that be, Dentel 7 Omen? I'm assuming it's Dentel Roman, and you put a 7, or is it Dentel 7 Oman? I don't know. I think what video is incorrect, man? Let me know right now. Yeah, just tier 2 LARPers. What the fuck does that mean? Bro, it's like Whitebeard can't punch as strong as he can create an earthquake, something like that. Isn't the reason why Croc and Moria isn't as strong as they'd like, as strong as that they didn't train their Devil Fruits for a good while? No, Crocodile, with Crocodile it might have been a case of hockey, and with Moria, he just let himself go. Versus in the second popularity of Luffy crosswords matchups, for Naruto it's Luffy, for Ichigo, and Ichigo. For Luffy, it's Naruto and Natsu. For Ichigo, it's Naruto and Yusuke. Alright. The best argument for Devil Fruit scaling to the user is evolving and mutating the user to be able to use their powers, not just giving it to you. I think the reason they pick Natsu is because in Fairy Tail's kind of known as a discount One Piece in general. They get compared a lot. I guess. I mean, I think that's... Is it really like a discount One Piece, though? I mean, with Fairy Tail, they're kind of... I wouldn't even call it that, because like in Fairy Tail, the characters... So if Kizaru uses and trains his Devil Fruit, his base speed be FTL. I would say so. We're doing good. The Rage Beta arrived to ruin the mood for a while. Yeah, I mean, it's fine. They're saying that my video is wrong. I'm still waiting for them to tell me which video, unless they just straight up came in here and then left. To name a few, the Kage versus Kaido, Madara versus Kaido, Pain versus Katakuri, Big Mom. So all the ones that essentially, you know, have Naruto characters loose. All right, and let's start off with one of them. Pick any one of those videos. Could you please explain why my video is wrong? I'll give you a chance to write that down, Dentel. I'm sure this will. I'm sure you have a reasonable enough explanation as to why my videos are wrong. Yes, Fairy Tail is a One Piece knockoff. Hero is a big One Piece fan. But what makes it a knockoff, though, right? Like, so for it to be a knockoff, that means that it has to have, like, themes or whatever that, like, essentially just tries to emulate One Piece to an extent. But it just, you know, it may potentially fail at it. Not saying that it does, just saying, you know. I'm sure some would chalk moments like this up to mental nerfs rather than power creep or power cliffing, but why can't it be both? I'm sure some would chalk moments like this up to mental nerfs rather than power creep or... I'm sure some would chalk moments like this up wondering where he's at. I'm sure some would chalk moments like this up to mental nerfs rather than power creep or power cliffing rather than power creep to mental nerf up to mental nerfs. Okay, let's stretch this out to this point right here. Yeah, I would love to know what exactly was so wrong. FNAF LARPing is also pretty bad. What's so bad about FNAF LARPing? What's good, Lapis? I didn't get a chance to say hi. How you doing, man? Let's see. The blissful melodies of me editing, sure. Mental nerves. To mental nerves. Is it weird that now in every stream a new Naruto fanboy comes in here in the most obscene saying the most insane BS in humankind? Is it called targeting? I mean, I wouldn't call it the most insane BS of all time. They're allowed to have their opinion. If they think that my videos are wrong, I think that's completely fine. I don't think that, you know... I don't think it's that massive of an issue. At least it doesn't, you know, like, at least it doesn't live rent-free inside my head. You know what I mean? I don't think I necessarily care. To mental nerfs rather than power creep or power cliffing. To mental nerfs rather than power creep or power cliffing. But why can't it be both? But why can't it be both? But why? Okay. But okay, we'll start there. Oh, that's good to know, Lapis. That's good to know. I'm happy to know you're doing well. Okay, I need the statement of... Why can't it be both? In my live streams, I've talked about the consistent growth of the Straw Hats throughout each arc. ¿Por qué no los dos? In my live streams, I've talked about... Okay. LARPers are just anyone, are just annoying to say the least. But posers, also known as people who pretend to know everything but actually spread misinformation, is the one I don't like. Speaking of Fairy Tail, why the fuck is the new chapter not out yet? You know, I feel like there's this very big love-hate relationship between you and Fairy Tail because you constantly complain about it, yet you're upset that there's no new chapter out. I think What would somebody call that? Oh yeah, a toxic relationship. I don't know, man. I would potentially say that maybe hot women and feet are not worth it, to stick around with that fuck ass series. But you have every right to decide if you're going to continuously read that. To be fair though, to an extent, and I must say, I feel like you must really love the series. No offense, Aster. LARPers is a weird term. Just leave people alone, dog. I'm not talking about not liking videos, but can you say a 5-dimensional attack equals moon level durability? That's an opinion. I mean, they can have it. I'm not going to tell you it's a right opinion. I mean, people believe that. People have the opinion that the Earth is flat. I'm not going to sit here and tell you, oh yeah, hey, you're a fucking idiot moron for thinking that the Earth is. I don't care, dude. I don't care if someone thinks the Earth is flat. I'm just going to look at them and I'm just going to be like, all right. I'm just going to walk away. I'm just going to say, all right, I mean, you can believe that. You have the right to believe it if you want. I can't sit here and force you to stop believing that the Earth is flat. I don't personally care to, like, try and change your mind. It's one of those situations where, like, holy shit. Implied Kage will be way too fast for them, which I disagree. The 5 Kage are a realm of multiple times faster than light. Okay, can you explain to me how the Kage are faster than light besides the Raikage? Can you please express to me how they're faster than light? Because I think it would be a bit weird. Yeah, no. What's wrong with that? Yeah, no, it's fine if they disagree with the take. I don't think that Dentel here is anything because they disagree with my take. I think I have Stockholm Syndrome for Fairy Tail. Are you sure about that? Anyway. What was I saying? 1 second. No way, this is bad. Wait, you two. Fuck me, now I have to go look for the chapter. Okay. Okay, so can you express to me, Dentel, why you think that the Kage like Tsunade, Onoki, or Mei Terumi are all multiple times faster than light? I would love to hear your take as to why they are so fast, even though I would, heavily disagree, but I'd love to at least hear what your reasoning is, first and foremost. I don't need that. What was I looking for? Nami. I'm looking for Nami. What specific chapter I got? 340 died. Alright, let's look for this bullshit. Do I have this, by the way? Let me see if I have this SBS. Sure, then. SBS, mainly because you would go by feats such as Kakashi slashing a lightning bolt, which Kakashi got even faster, Haku traveling, the Kirin feat with Itachi reacted. Okay, I see what you mean. Now, can I ask you a question? Even if Kakashi got faster than he was when he was a kid, right? Why exactly would Kakashi cutting a lightning bolt as a kid, mind you, with an ability that specifically raises his speed, right? Because we know for a fact that the lightning blade specifically raises speed. You need to build up your speed in order to use the jutsu in the first place. And he only ever reaches those speeds while using lightning blade, right? Can you please explain to me, why Kakashi, tagging a bolt of lightning as a kid and being unquantifiably faster means that the Kage are now FTL. I'm trying to like see how exactly one correlates to the other. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to see how like one correlates to the other. Fuck, I did not want to do that. Okay. Save. Do we have this one? Cause like, a character like tagging lightning bolts when they were younger and then, they're allegedly stronger now doesn't inherently mean that character, for whatever reason, should now just be light speed, right? Like, we don't just jump straight to light speed for no reason. That's gonna be like the first point I'm trying to cover. I'll cover Haku traveling and, Kirin afterwards. Talk to the girl, yeah, blah, 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 chose to protect us. Okay, I need this panel. This is what I was looking for. I need the Water 7 stuff. I need the... Yeah, Water 7. Bro, looking for Nami live on string, average Gooner behavior. Just because I'm looking for Nami... I don't have this page. What the fuck? I don't have this page. Oh, I did. Well, I'm just bad at this, I guess. Sounds like they're doing chain scaling for the Kages of these other characters, even though the stronger ninjas don't have the same stats to lesser ones. Yeah, they don't have to necessarily have the same stats, but yeah, I agree. Well, Kakashi has been training since, has he not? Not just power, especially speed. The Raikage is one of the fastest, and he's relative with the Kage, so he's above Kakashi. Yes, but that doesn't necessarily mean that all ninjas scale. Just being stronger automatically means that every single stat scales higher, right? I mean, would you say that? Here's, I don't know. What's a good example? Would you say that Might Guy has the same durability or has greater durability than, I don't know, Might Guy without the, I don't know, what's a good example for this? Would you say that Might Guy has like the durability of KCM2 plus Siege Mode Naruto just because he uses the 8th gate? Stats don't necessarily just go up because a ninja's more powerful, right? And saying that Kakashi has been training isn't necessarily, you know, reasonable, considering that Kakashi also states in part 1 that he let himself go, especially by the time of the, especially after his engagement with Orochimaru, right? This statement actually comes out before Guy makes the statement that Kakashi, let's see, where is it? This is Naruto doing the thing, right here, right? This rock climbing shouldn't be so strenuous. I have really let my body get weak. This comes right before the Might Guy statement that he slashed a bolt of lightning, and this is right after he fights Zabuza. So no, I wouldn't agree with the notion that Kakashi would just be consistently training and making himself more and more powerful, which even if you were able to say that, that doesn't give you a speed scaling for Kakashi. Saying that Kakashi cut a bolt of lightning as a kid doesn't necessarily mean that, oh well, Kakashi should be 15 times, 20 times, 10 times, 5 times, 2 times, 1,000 times, 500 times faster than a lightning bolt. None of it is implied within the context of the story. None of it is even remotely stated or shown. It's just the assumption that, well, he's older now, therefore he must be stronger, therefore he must now be light speed. Now, as Aster mentioned right here, is there anything in Naruto that implies he's gotten that much faster, right? Now let's talk about Haku. I think the biggest part that I disagree with the Haku thing is that I'm assuming you're referencing Haku, I'm assuming that you're referencing Haku in the context of the Ice Mirror Jutsu. So what exactly are you trying to say with that, right? Because no character in part 1, yes, he says it in this panel right here, this training shouldn't be so strenuous. Have I really let my body get weak? One of the things that I'd like to cover here is that just real quick for the Haku end of the scaling, Haku is nowhere near scalable with any other character in the series up until the War Arc. Haku doesn't have any other kind of chain scaling. He physically only fights Naruto and Sasuke, and he gets in front of Kakashi for a singular attack. Kakashi doesn't scale to Haku. Naruto and Sasuke don't scale to Haku because they don't even scale to Kakashi. And if you're gonna say, well, they dodged, Naruto dodged one of Haku's attacks, if you want me to cover that, I can, but essentially, the statement specifies, the statement that I'm assuming you're going with, the Laku is, light speed or whatever statement, it inherently implies, but why can't it be both? ¿Por qué no los dos? Or power cliffing, but why can't it be both? ¿Por qué no los dos? But they eventually got above Haku. Who got above Haku? Because last time I checked, the same exact thing happened with Haku. The same exact thing happened with Haku where, I mean, Haku doesn't do anything. Kakashi fights Zabuza and Haku. Actually, I might have to actually look up the chapters for that one. Kakashi and Zabuza essentially go out of their way to fight Haku. Kakashi goes out of his way to fight Zabuza and Haku, and he doesn't ever really blitz Haku or stop Haku. He just has Haku run right in front of him. Eon on some Freon, Eon with a Peon, Eon with some Nebron, Eon smites a Peon. Quite literally, like anybody above that arc, that's mainly how it goes. No, that's not how it works. You don't just scale above a character just because a new guy shows up. You have to have some reasoning or logic to kind of imply that. I mean, sure, you can argue Orochimaru is more powerful than Haku, but Orochimaru doesn't have lightspeed feats or statements. Orochimaru has no lightspeed scaling. The only thing Orochimaru has is just he's stronger than Haku, and that's very reasonable. I don't think anyone's going to sit here and deny that Orochimaru would be more powerful than Haku in a fight. But what I'm trying to express to you here is that Haku specifically moves at light speed because he's moving between the mirrors. Between the mirrors that he has, the mirrors that he creates, right? The mirrors allow Haku to travel between them at light speed, but that's if Eternal, I'm going to remove this comment. Eternal, I'm going to remove this comment. Stop. Guys, listen, I'm really gonna become anal about this. I'm gonna start doing a new rule. If you fucking insult anybody in any way, if you use an emoji to try to say that someone doesn't have a brain or whatever, I swear to fucking Christ, Allah, Yahweh, whomever the fuck you guys believe in, I swear to some form of God out there, I will time you out for 24 hours. I'm not doing this shit. I'm gonna be super fucking anal about this. Do not fucking even hint at the idea of insulting somebody. I'm not doing this, man. I'm not playing with this. Anyway, Haku can move at light speed, or he has the capacity to also move at light speed between the mirrors, but that isn't the only speed that they're allowed to move at. You also see Haku right here is literally taking on multiple opponents. I mean, Haku hasn't necessarily been heavily power crept even within the context of Naruto, at least as far as speed goes. Just saying, well, Orochimaru showed up, and then Madara showed up, and then Gaara showed up. Like, it doesn't matter if a new character shows up. You have to be able to show that there are characters here that have the capacity to either overpower a character or two based on actual evidence, and not just, well, they scale above one or the other. But it's like teleportation and fast travel between two checkpoints in a game. You can view it as such, right? You can view it as such. I do view it as light speed movement speed for Haku while moving between the mirrors. Unfortunately, the singular moment where Haku does try to attack directly Naruto, there is no mirror in between, so you can't argue light speed. You can't necessarily argue light speed. Also, yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. Like, they go for the move right here. Yeah, I don't know. You can debate that One Piece does that to Zoro stated alone, stronger each island, so why can't we work for other shonen or anime? And it's always been a shonen like DBZ. Well, no, it hasn't always been a shonen like DBZ. Naruto is its own consolidated story where they're not just introducing a random new villain with almost no interaction with the last villain from the previous arcs. This world is more tethered together than a series like Dragon Ball A, and B, the reason why we do something like that for One Piece is because there is a direct statement from the characters and essentially from the author that says Zoro, in this case, stating we get stronger from island to island. There is no indication of that in Naruto whatsoever, Dentel. There is no indication of that whatsoever. Naruto's story format, Naruto's writing, you could say it's inspired by Dragon Ball all you want, but that doesn't mean that it follows all the same bits of logic and reasoning that a series like Dragon Ball or One Piece does. If One Piece has a statement that says, well, we get stronger after every island, sure, that works for One Piece. No, that's not going to work for Dragon Ball because, sorry, not Dragon Ball, Naruto, because there's no statement that implies that for Naruto. You can argue that characters like Naruto, well, they're arguing straightforward power cliffing. I mean, it's not necessarily straightforward because the characters aren't just progressively becoming more powerful one after another, after another, after another, after another, after another. I mean, Naruto fights Gaara and the fucking Shukaku, but we're not gonna sit here and say that Kimimaru or what's-his-face, Sasuke with the curse mark are more powerful than the Shukaku. We're not gonna sit here and argue that either, right? He's constantly moving between the mirrors, but once he leaves, he's no longer moving at light speed. If anything, Naruto's strength and abilities were lacking until midway through Shippuden. I agree with that considerably. I mean, you have characters like Orochimaru introduced into the series early on, and then the following villains that we have to deal with as far as like the protagonist goes are the Sound 4, and they're weaker than Jonin. And if you don't believe me, I can literally show you panels that they are weaker than Jonin. No, he said instead of Naruto, I don't know if he said he had stagnated, but he definitely implied that if Naruto, instead of chasing after him, had just been training his powers, he'd probably be actually worth a damn. Something like that. But why can't it be both? ¿Por qué no los dos? Plus... ¿Por qué no los dos? I'm gonna write this all in Spanish. ¿Por qué no los dos? Just consider if M equals MA in Naruto, each of the Senbon, Haku throws, or slashes have kinetic and little nukes are actually relativistic. Yeah. Like, Sakura even had better ability growth right off the time skip. Horrid tremble, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, like, Sakura even showed, like, more growth than Naruto did throughout her fucking 2 years of training. I might hate the fucking bitch, but I'm not gonna sit here and deny that she had better fucking growth than Naruto did off of the 2 years time skip. I feel like Naruto, like, yeah, I mean, Naruto can now use shadow clones more effectively, sure, whatever. He's still just relying on a singular Rasengan that if it doesn't work, he's kind of fucked. If you use Lightspeed Naruto, you have to throw out all your assumptions about how physics work in the verse. I agree, especially if you're doing, like, early on Lightspeed Naruto. Anyway. ¿Por qué no los dos? Power creep and mental nerf. Plus mental nerf. It's always about these absolutes for a lot of people, which I think is one of my biggest issues. Okay, you guys are having your discussions. Incorrect. I recommend you rethink your life choice and reread Naruto. Okay, and now we're going to do it. Okay, this is my final straw. Page Ben, I'm sorry, I'm timing you out for 5 minutes. I said it before, and I'm going to repeat myself now. And I'm going to even type it into the chat so nobody misunderstands that there is a pinned comment ready. If you insult someone's intelligence, for having a power scaling take, I am timing you out for 24 hours. I'm really about to be fucking no zero tolerance policy about this shit. 24 hours, zero tolerance. I'm not doing this. I'm not fucking doing this with you guys, bro. I'm not repeating myself. I am not repeating myself with this, bro. It is not that serious. If you insult someone's intelligence for a power scaling take, I'm just not doing it, bro. Just be polite, or just don't fucking talk to the person, especially if they're not talking to you, bro. We're not doing this. Jesus Christ. Stop being a fucking child. I don't give a shit if you're trying to defend me. I don't give a fiddly fuck if you're sitting here like, oh, but Eon, I'm just trying to be nice here, man. Like, oh, I was just trying to defend. I don't give a fuck, bro. If you're insulting somebody to try and defend me, just shut the fuck up, dude. Just shut the fuck up. I'm just gonna be very honest about it and just say, shut the fuck up. I'm sorry about this. Don't do that shit, man. Nobody here is a fucking idiot for thinking that, oh, Kakashi is faster than the speed of light with no fucking evidence. I don't care if they don't have any evidence for it. I don't care if they genuinely believe it. It's fine. They can believe it. That's not an issue. That is not a problem. You can still sleep at night knowing you will still sleep at night the same way you slept every other night, knowing that a person out here believes that Kakashi is fucking light speed in part 1. I don't give a shit. I don't care if they believe that Haku and Naruto and Sasuke, they're all part 1 fucking massively FTL, that in incalculable speeds. I don't give a shit what they think. Don't fucking insult them. It's that simple. We should set a goal for being one of the best power scaling fandoms for it. If you insult someone and doesn't help get you see your point, it just solidifies them that they are right. Yeah. In my live streams, I've talked about the consistent growth of the Straw Hats throughout each arc. Zoro states... Alright. Talked about the consistent growth of the Straw Hats throughout each arc. Zoro states twice throughout this arc... Zoro... Did I put this song? Oh, shit. Some people need to learn to be polite. It's not hard. It's not that serious. We were talking about pirates and ninjas and giant monsters fighting each other. That's what I'm saying, man. Like this is not going to be an environment where we come in and we have this fucking bullshit every single time. I am making it a new rule from here on out, and I'm just going to I'm going to just post it on a fucking not Discord. I'm going to post it on Discord, and I'm going to post it I'll make a channel post about it. If you insult a fucking person on any of my streams, I don't give a shit who you are. I don't give a shit what the reason is. Name the most delusional fandom. I don't know, man. Throw in whatever random fandom you don't like, and then just, I don't know, say it with your chest. I'm gonna probably switch songs after I get to Marineford. I don't care if any individual believes something crazy, so to speak. We're interpreting art. But I do get pissed when people deliberately lie. Yeah, that's the thing. You shouldn't be lying about the things that you are saying. You shouldn't be making up information. If it's like a major, just ban them off the channel. Not gonna lie, it's fine. If it's a major insult and stuff like that, that's fine. I don't care about. That's fine. Yeah, at that point, I just don't care. Zoro states twice throughout this arc alone. Okay, so what do we need for this? We need Zoro's statement. It was about the going merry. It was about the going merry. Was it then prior to the... It had to be prior to this stuff right here, right? Frankie's losing it. Iceberg, that's when we already got there. Okay. Iceberg's been shot. The ice guy, yep. That's the burden of the captain to share. It was never about the money, Spider-Man. Okay. Human beings become stronger, more resilient every time they cross the sea. Okay. I can make an announcement. I can make the announcement on both servers. Yeah, actually, yeah, you can, if you want to do that for me, I would appreciate it. Just let it be known that from here on out, I'm going zero tolerance policy on this shit. It should never be that serious, and if people are gonna go out of their way to do these insults and stuff like that, you know what? Sure, but I'm just putting you on direct timeout. I'm just not dealing with it. Because, like, in all honesty, it's sad that I have to constantly repeat myself on this manner. If you meet them, tell them you're fired. I will. He's not here. Hey, thank you for the 1 gifted membership. John, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. We got some W's for John. Okay, so we're looking for... Ah, there it is. His life isn't... Each time we've passed on, we've gotten stronger, and each time he's been on our line, he's cheated death. Yep. Okay. It's twice throughout this arc alone that the crew has gotten stronger from island to island. So it stands to reason that the Straw Hats have at some point also power crept or power cliffed themselves from the past. There's even a So it stands to reason that the Straw Hats have at some point also power crept or power cliffed themselves. Let me see if I can find a specific image for Sanji real quick. Sanji VSBW. Oh, that's a cool image of Sanji. Fuck me, man. Alright. God damn it. Alright. History. Alright, you know what? Fuck you. Sanji VSBW. Okay, let's do that again. What's up, guys? Take. How you doing, man? Muzan over the 5 elders because elders are demons and Muzan is the demon king. Ah, true. Good point. Fantastically well presented point. What are we doing today? No, it is not Naruto versus Luffy. I am just editing a page. I am just doing some work, and then we'll discuss that other stuff later. It's not even whether or not Kaido's been power crept by Loki. Although I will be using some images of Loki, hopefully. There we go. I will take this one. Save as PNG. Sanji, PTS. Profiles, One Piece, Sanji, pre-TS, Sanji, pre-TS, save as, Sanji, pre-TS, Diable Jambe 1, save as. One Piece. Sanji. Okay. There we go. Now let's do post time skip. What's up? Shonen Showdown is doing a live if you're interested. Just Ten Tails Madara beats. Who's Shonen Showdown? Shonen Showdown. Ah. This is what they're doing?
It's gonna be in theaters. I'm excited for that. Oh, Tiberius, you brought it up. You brought it up.
Jesus Christ, that's a number of subscribers. The fuck do they do? I asked 100 anime fans to play blackjack. Cool. Ah. Seems like a very like Mr. I don't want to say like Mr. Beast, but it does feel like a very Mr. Beast like.
It's the better show for me. My Hero Academia. Which is the better.
If he does end up
Actually,
talking,
this is a great way to segue into it. Because Jay right here is saying, bro, which is the better show for me? My Hero Academia or Black Clover? Now, let me start off by saying I've seen My Hero Academia to its completion because the anime has ended. For Black Clover, I have not read like deep into the manga. I have
Sanji.
not. With that being said, because we can take a look at this right here. The Black Clover manga has officially ended. so it's done. But we do know Black Clover is coming back this year. So I'm excited for that, but I really enjoyed the Black Clover anime. So a part of me was us always holding out hope that the anime would come back. So I did not, I did not read deep into the manga. So I don't know if it's fair for me to really pick a winner, but I will say I have always been more of a Black Clover fan than a My Hero fan. I always have been. Always have been.
Oh, hey, I watch
Does
him.
Asa
He's
become
not
the
really
king?
a power scaler,
I
or at
mean,
least he's just
we'll-
a casual watcher. That's fine.
People that read the Black Clover manga, obviously they know. I'm not up on it, but yo, CP50.
Wow, it's really been
appreciate
11
you
years. It's really been 11 years.
for resubbing, bro. Seriously, thank you so much.
Okay, if
Let me get the big cam. Hold on. Because a lot of people looked at Black Clover initially as Asa just yelling in the beginning episodes, which it did happen. Asa was yelling a lot in the beginning episodes. It turned a lot of people off from Black Clover, and they just threw out the entire series
right,
as a whole.
Zoro.
And I feel like that's probably one of the things that new gen anime suffer from the most. And that's, you can't, like, older anime had the luxury of having an audience that's a little bit more patient. Nowadays, especially past 2020, if your anime is not banging off the first second, people are gonna throw it out, expecting the entire anime to be shot. And it's unfortunate because Black
You're not
Clover
an
is
ordinary
incredible.
fella.
Hold on, I don't even know why the alerts
You're
aren't
not
here.
an ordinary
Man, Turkey
fella.
Vest, I appreciate you becoming a
whoa.
member. And hold on, let me see if I can make this. Thank you so much for joining, by the way. I gotta figure out how I get these alerts to, because for some reason y'all can't hear them. Unless maybe it's my desktop audio. I don't know why you guys can't hear the alerts. But again, I appreciate y'all, seriously. And Tiberius, that was a gifted membership, man. I appreciate you, Tiberius. Seriously, bro. I appreciate you. Oh, you guys hear it on your end? CP, you hear them? Oh, you guys hear it? All right, cool. Yeah, if you guys hear it, we're good. We're good. We're good. All right. Yeah, if you guys hear it, we're good. That's perfect. I just want to make sure, because what are my top 3 best Bankai? I mean, I think
You know, being royalty kind of ruined him for me. I thought he was just naturally strong until the Spade Kingdom. I mean, it kind of makes sense. The guy is essentially a walking golden sperm child. The guy can do no wrong. He has no flaws. Yuno, the only thing that makes Yuno flawed is that Asta exists. Therefore, Yuno must... Actually, I don't even know if like Asta existing is like necessarily a flaw for Yuno. I don't think Yuno necessarily has like a single fucking flaw. He just didn't have anti-magic. I'm pretty sure if you gave Yuno anti-magic and somehow also gave him all of that like magic shit, I don't know, man. It just feels like... Luffy won the poll for Deathcast. Well, happy for this guy. Hope his stream goes well. I'm just bored here. That was just boring. But again, that content's not for me. I just how the Godfruits break the rules of One Piece. Sure, let's have this in the background.
What if I told you
Actually, maybe later. I need to now set this up. So it stands to reason that these... Let me just make sure out of my profiles page I have everything I need, because second gear, no, I don't have Luffy. I am Monkey D. Luffy. We are Monkey D. Luffy. And I'm going to be the king of the pirates. Luffy. Pre. All right. I'm not. Luffy. Pre. Time skip. G3. All right. Now that we have that set up. Nope, not that. Alright, whatever. Fuck right off. I don't want you anymore. Okay. I need you. 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 And I need you. Give me these guys first. So it stands to reason that the Straw Hats have at some point also power crept or power cliffed themselves from the past. There's even a consistent pattern that helps us figure out how exactly... Okay. Also power crept or power cliffed at some point also power crept or... So it stands to reason... This point... right here. Okay. Now we can do it. Okay, now we can shoot this all back. I meant Tabata is obviously rushing due to his wife's illness, so he's saying fuck this story. That's kind of sad if that's happening. I meant the wife being sick. Obviously also the story being completely thrown away. So I think you should still make me a mod for the Discord debate server. I'll make you a mod. Just remind me. I'll just remind me later. I'll make you a mod soon. I don't mind doing that. I can 100% accommodate that. Transitions. What are some of my favorites? It was like a cross effect, right? Yeah. At some point, also power crept or power. Yeah. No, we'll just do that. Okay. So, there's even a consistent pattern that helps us figure out how exactly they might become more powerful, and in Luffy's case, it's fighting and then eating. Throughout almost every... There's even a consistent pattern that helps us figure out how exactly they might become more powerful, and in Luffy's case, it's fighting exactly they might become more powerful, and in Luffy's case, it's fighting and then eating. Throughout case, it's fighting and then eating. Throughout all... And in Luffy... And in... Okay, so... Okay, so we got that out of the way. We have that. I don't need the Naruto manga up right now. Okay. It's fighting and then eating. Fighting and then eating. Fighting and then eating. Fighting and then eating. I think we'll do Wano for that. You want to do a formal debate? Do I want to debate? No, I don't care for debating. If you guys want to do a debate, I'm more than... I can accommodate for that. I don't mind accommodating you guys. Ugh. Okay, so it's fighting right here. And then eating. When does Luffy scarf down on all of that food? Okay. Do you like horror movies? Not a particular fan of them. Horror movies usually put me to sleep. Fighting and then eating. Throughout almost every arc/island of One Piece, we see a consistent theme of Luffy going through a hard-fought battle against his opponent, which is then followed up by an entire feast with his friends and allies. Throughout almost every arc/island of One Piece, we see a consistent theme of Luffy going through a hard-fought battle against his opponent, which is then followed up by an entire feast with his friends and allies. After being defeated by CP9. Okay. Okay. So let's see. Okay, let's go back. Okay, so east, blue, east, blue, east, brew. Brew, 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 brew. Okay. Let's do this. We'll throw that in. And then... Okay, so we did that. Beautiful. Then we have, what is it? It's Luffy. Okay, so we did East Blue. Now we do Alabasta. Did they do anything like that in Drum Kingdom? No, right? Am I... Shut up and let's go. Yeah. I think it only happens again in Alabasta. Hey, and I saw a picture with your girlfriend somewhere. I saw your picture with girlfriend somewhere. What's my picture with girlfriend? What are you talking about? I've definitely never tried... You have definitely never tried some Indian horror movies. They will put you in sleep faster. Really? I think my biggest issue with a lot of these movies is that a lot of the times they feel like that you can easily tell when the fuck a... horror movies for Eon would be a bean plant documentary. All right. All right. That's funny. Yeah. I think I'll find a better example of this if I just go straight to Skypiea. Well, actually, I can do this first. We can do Alabasta first, and then we can go straight into Skypiea, because I know they should have had some kind of a thing for that. Let's see. So we have that. Then they do that. Yeah. Oh, you were saying horror movies are predictable? Yeah, no, horror movies are for the most part predictable, and I feel like, especially when... I'm not gonna lie, even when I saw, like, earlier horror movies, I think I spoke to you guys about this before, I saw, like, the first Halloween movie, the one with, like, Michael Myers, and me and my girlfriend were just fucking bored. Yeah, it's part of it is like they're fake as fuck, but it's because it's a dark ambiance. It's always like a very low lighting in these movies, so it's like a combination of like the dark ambiance, the extremely slow pacing, the predictable ass jump scares. I just sit there and I think to myself, dude, I'm bored. Like the last time I went to go watch a movie, one of these movies in the movie theaters, I fell asleep. Mind you, I was having like I fell asleep, and then were like points where, like, my friends were laughing because they were like, yo, bro, you really fall asleep at every single one of these. And then we were just cracking jokes the rest of the fucking movie. Luckily, it was, at least at the time, the movie wasn't, like, really packed with, like, anybody in there, so, and we were sitting all the way in the front, so I don't think it was really, like, that bothersome. So we were just like making some jokes, but we weren't really that loud. Then there was like, I think we watched Halloween, like the first one with like Michael Myers, bro. That shit was ass. That shit was garbaggio, bruh. However the fuck anybody thought that was. It really does like go to show that like media back in like the 70s, 80s, and 90s. I know some people say like those are like some golden years, or like movies back then were just different. They were great, blah blah blah. I don't know, man. I think movies back then, from the writing to the pacing to so many of like the choices that they make in those movies, I'm just like, yo, this shit is trash, bro. This shit is fucking ass, bro. I don't know. I'm just not a fan of like older movies for a reason. I just feel like I feel like we've come a long way in so many ways. I don't know, man. I can't do it. I can't fucking do it. Watch Sinister or Barbaric. You will like these two. I'm not really. I usually say Track Beats, the loser, that loser of a Superman. What the fuck are you guys talking about? You can experience to see your own your own picture in files. Oh yeah, no, that's pretty fucking scary. Damn, Shonen Jump curse strikes again. Final arcs in Shonen have been dog shit for decades now. You think people back then enjoyed them because of like nostalgia? Standards back then were just super low. Yeah, when my sister told me like she told me like the first Halloween movie was one of her favorite ones, and I'm sitting here, I'm excited. I'm like, you know what? She always like has like she's always so nitpicky about everything. The first one must be great, and then my girlfriend and I sat there and watched it, and we were like, this is it? Have you guys never seen like the first scene of the Halloween movie? It really is one of the most, it really is like one of the most over-exaggerated fucking death scenes I've ever seen in my fucking life. Dude, that shit was trash. And then when I told her about it, she was like, no, you gotta understand it comes from a different time. They didn't have all these things back then, all the CGI and all this stuff. And I'm just like, okay, that doesn't change my fucking opinion. I don't care about the time frame. Here's the thing. I don't personally view things from the perspective of the time period that they came out in, or at least I don't always do that. I more so just look at them from, is it good? Is it bad? What's the writing like? Etc., etc. Is it going to do something new? Is it going to do something old? If it's doing something old that was something new at the time, is it at least decent? No, half the time it's just fucking ass, dude. Half the time it's just fucking ass. Are the endings bad, or are they just didn't go? It's not that even that like they didn't go how I wanted it to be. I just expected a movie that people were saying was super fucking scary to actually be scary, and not just guy stands there for a while, guy stands there for a while, guy stands there for a while, guy shows up and stands there for a while, and then he shows up at the end and he gets like, and he just like gets inside the house and he just starts swinging. It's like, oh wow, I waited an hour. I waited like an hour and 30 minutes out of an hour and 40-minute movie just to see the bad guy actually do something. Fan-freaking-tastic. You know what? Peak media. Peak fucking media, I suppose. Peak fucking media, I suppose, man. I don't know. Maybe I'm just an uncultured swine, and you know what? That's okay. I don't have to be... I don't have to be some kind of... analysis master or whatever. I don't have to know a lot of things very well just for me to sit here and tell you, oh, hey man, shit was alright. I don't know. I don't personally care. Let's see. What chapter was this? 300? 300. 300. Yes, this. 300. Can I briefly ask you an opinion about Natsu's powers? Yeah, for sure. Sorry, I didn't see that before. Yeah, sure. 100%. I just imagine the smug smile guy from Knives Out when I think about Eon. The smug smile guy? Who the fuck's the smug smile guy? I did see Knives Out. Who are you referencing? Skypea. There we go. Knives Out cast. Who's the smug? Who's the guy you're referencing? Michael Shannon? Definitely not him. You're talking about Chris Evans? Talking about Chris Evans or are you talking about like Daniel Craig, or is it like Don Johnson? Boruto isn't a bad manga, fight me. I mean, you don't have to care what anyone says, you could just enjoy it. Watch Terrifier if you want brutal fucking shit. I mean, I'm not here for like a slasher movie. I'm not here for like some crazy hack and slash. People are just brutal gore everywhere. I don't care for that kind of stuff either. I'm just saying, if I want to watch a scary movie, I would just like to be scared. Like, genuinely scared and not like, oh, wow, just random fucking jump scare. Fantastic. Like, I want a movie to, like, actually keep me up at night. I don't want to just sit here and be like, oh, yeah. Just another random jump scare here and there. I'm not going to sit here and tell you, like, jump scares haven't got me before. But, like, if I'm going to sit there for, like, 2.5 hours just obscene with its violence and gore, even I find it revolting, that's crazy. That's funny. Eating and then eating. Throughout almost every arc/island of One Piece, we see a consistent theme of Luffy going through a hard-fought battle against his opponent, which is then followed up by an entire feast with his friends and allies. After being defeated by CP9, Luffy and Zoro are given a large sum of food and sake by Nami. If Asta doesn't get with Noel, or Asta doesn't become the Wizard King, Black Clover is shit. I'm holding Raga auditions for anyone who wants to replace him. Try a Nightmare on Elm Street. You won't be scared, but you'll be entertained. I'm gonna be honest with you. If I'm not scared, I'm not gonna be entertained. I usually do not end up caring much about like the actual narratives of the movies. They're not that many that scary. But if you want a real scary movie, The Grudge and The Grudge 2, I'll check them out. Watch Journey of Bean. Fuck you. No. I'm not doing that. I don't think I will. After being defeated by CP9, Luffy and Zoro... Okay, now we go back to Water 7. Here's my previous comment for a good movie recommendation. This is coming from someone who has an insane tolerance for horror, and I thought it was a joke. Okay. The best horror movie in a very niche indie ones like Skinamarink. Skinamarink. Sure, I'll type that one down. Skinamarink. All right. Do you think that Natsu burning his arm when he burned infinite magic and later doing more damage to himself with an attack in 100 immunity, the first attack is stronger than the second one? He burning his arm when he burned infinite magic and then later doing more damage to himself with an attack in the 100-year quest means the first attack is stronger than the second one. So wait. He burned his arm with an attack that burned infinite magic. Okay. And then he later did more damage to himself with an attack in the 100-year quest, meaning that... So how is the first attack supposed to be more powerful if he's doing more damage to himself with the second attack? Sorry, other way around. Is the second stronger than the first? I mean... I don't have context for that. I'm gonna be so fucking honest with you. I feel like that's just something that... Like, if I give you... Okay, off of just normal logic, I would say yes, if he's doing more damage to himself, but is it also, like, a different kind of attack? What's the context of the second attack? Is it, like, more backfire? Is it, like, he's just too close to it? Is he just engulfing himself in the flames again, like in the first attack, but he just burned himself more? I don't know. Like, that just... I feel like... JJK, despite its dog shit writing, I disagree with that. It's popular, believe it's just shonen crack, a fast-paced and terrible crash at the end. I disagree with all of that. I think JJK has very good writing. But sure. Like, people being illiterate in the series having good, bad writing are two different things, but sure. After being defeated by CP9, Luffy was half-trying fighting Gaja. Who says he was half-trying and he dies because he chose to not keep using his infinite binding vow powers? That's not indicative of bad writing. What do you mean infinite binding vow powers? There's only so much you can also do with a binding vow. He made a binding vow. He made a binding vow so that he can pass on the applications of the application of the burden of adaptation on himself, specifically Megumi rather than Maharaga. Thoughts on FNAF? My bad for a repost. I don't care for the FNAF series. I've seen the gameplay. I don't think it's that scary. I don't see the appeal in it, but then again, I'm not a horror guy. I've never been a horror guy, so I'm not the target audience for it, so I don't personally just have any strong opinions on it. I have a friend that absolutely loves FNAF and all of its lore. He's explained some of it to me, but it's really just in one ear and out the other for me. He can always keep making binding vows. Yeah, but what's the context of the binding vow? After being defeated by after being defeated by CP9, Luffy and Zoro are given a large sum of food and sake by Nami. Going into his rematch with Blueno, there is a rematch going into given a large sum of food by CP9. Luffy and Zoro are given going into his rematch with... They're both close-range punches. The first one achieved through channeling the power of friendship, literally, and the other one by eating the flames of Ignia, a powerful dragon. You can also just say that the flames of that dragon were hotter than the ones that he used to burn time, though it doesn't necessarily mean that the attack itself might be more powerful. I don't know, man. I feel like with Fairy Tail, you either get them at Universal or you don't, because that infinite magic shit just sounds crazy. Going into his rematch with Blueno, there is a clear increase in Luffy's capabilities to the point Blueno can't land a hit. Luffy does Going into his rematch with Blueno, there is a clear increase in Okay, I'm gonna just... Fairy Tail is outer, sure. Okay, okay. So now what we are looking for is Rob Lucci. Rob Lucci fucking up Luffy and Zoro. The second thing is Luffy and Zoro eating. Tanjiro solos the Bleach verse? Sure he does. Honestly, I'm not even upset with that take. Honestly, that take doesn't even upset me. Honestly, that take is completely reasonable. I think that's actually a complete... You're saying LARPer like it means anything. She fell for Asta. Well, he's an exception. Agnologia destroyed a space where the concept of time and space didn't exist. Going into his rematch with Blueno. Luffy does blatantly state that he can't beat Blueno as he is, and proceeds to use second gear in order to take him out in 4 hits as far as the manga goes. This is important because after he fights, he eats some meat that he stored in his pockets and then goes on to fight Rob Lucci in base, and both characters are relative. Burning Blood has good soundtracks you could use for your video. Let me check out some of the soundtrack then. Let me check that out real quick. One Piece Burning Blood OST. Yeah, I'm going to... Ooh, game OST extended. Honestly, if this is really just the selection music, it's not bad. This isn't bad. Okay. Whitebeard Marine. Marineford platform. I'm assuming you're meaning the Marineford one. Okay. Do you find cosplay intriguing at all? No, but I have a friend that does. I have a friend that actively cosplays a good number of characters like Loki, Wolverine, Spider-Man. I'm not gonna lie, I've never found the concept of cosplaying interesting, but to be fair, what am I supposed to do? Tell someone that, like, oh hey, you shouldn't dress up because of based on a character that either means a lot to you, you really care about, or has a really easy cosplay. I will say this: when it comes to cosplays, when it comes to cosplays, I'll be so honest with you. I have rarely found cosplays that genuinely make me say that's impressive. For the most part, I see most cosplays and I'm like, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine, yeah, it's fine. Like, even for, I don't know. I don't view cosplaying as like anything too impressive until like somebody does like one of those like giant Reinhardt or what is it, Reinhardt, the Hulkbuster, stuff like that. Like when I see a guy with like a whole Iron Man cosplay with like an actual mask that like sets up, I'm like, okay, that's cool. If I just see a girl wearing like a cute dress or whatever, I'm like, good for her. As Nemesis? I think he is a Resident Evil fan. This one isn't bad. I'd use this one. Oris Plaza? Sure. What's... Okay. I'm going to my first con, and I'm going as Law. It's something crazy, pretty lazy, but it's my first cosplay attempt. It's not terrible. Well, I'm happy for you, Matsukami. First of all, I hope that it goes well. I hope that you have a wonderful time at that conference, convention. And isn't this copyrighted? I don't think so, but I can just remove it. I can just remove it from the video if the whole stream gets demonetized. Yeah, no, just hope you have a good time, and I hope that your Law cosplay, I don't know, I hope people want to take pictures. I mean, it's nothing, I mean, even if it's nothing crazy, like, here's the thing, I don't think that cosplays that are, like, nothing crazy or, like, quote-unquote lazy are, like, a bad thing anyway. People have budgets. From my understanding, like, some cosplayers, especially the ones that, like, do, like, crazy shit, they're, like, essentially, like, engineers and, like, scientists and shit that basically... They basically spend a good portion of their fucking paycheck on this kind of stuff. So you can't really blame anybody for not having like the craziest cosplay. But I'm just the kind of guy that like I'm not personally gonna be impressed by like 99% of cosplays. That's just me though. I don't think though that like a simple simple cosplay is necessarily a bad thing. What do you mean? Safe to say we all prefer women with joysticks than not. No, I would never prefer a woman with a joystick. I definitely would not. Especially when she has two large buttons on her chest I can just play with. This one isn't bad. Uh-huh. This one isn't bad. This one isn't bad. I bought a life-size Kikoku, but I can't bring it inside because I didn't read the guidelines first. It's not sharp, but because it's metal, they won't let me bring it in. That's fair. I kind of like this one. Oh, I'm crying. That was a little. You missed the sax solo. My bad. I'll go back for it. Oh, actually, you guys want to hear a song I've been thinking about throwing into some of the videos? Dragon Ball Z Shin Budokai. This is for the Shin Budokai Another Road OST. This is for those that know ball. This is for those of you guys that know ball and game. This is one of my favorite themes of all time. Not this one. Let's see. Main menu, Tip Top Shake, track 1, track 2, track 3, track 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright. Was it chapter 26? No, none of these. Let's see. Not this one. This one was pretty good. Bum bum bum. No. Nope. It has a great OST. I'll check it out. Listen, I don't like Bleach's writing. I think Bleach has like dog shit ass worst writing I've read in a fucking in a shonen in a long time. But I'm not gonna sit here and deny that it can't have good music or cool fights. I'm not gonna sit here and deny that either. Nope. 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 Come on, it's definitely somewhere here. I really can't find it. It's really not here? Oh, is this Shin Budokai 2? That's why I'm making this fucking mistake. It's Shin Budokai fucking 2. No, I put Another Road. Shin Budokai Another Road OST. Oh. Well, no, I guess I was just an idiot. Huh. It's just not loading. I don't even know how to type that in. Oh, I love this one. Not that one. Dun dun dun. Definitely don't remember that one. Wow, I really can't find this. Wow, the song is just not around here anywhere. Wow, I really cannot find this thing. I really can't find this. Wow, that's insane. That is absolutely insane to me. Why is it always so fucking hard, man, to find this fucking song? There we go. Okay. Listen to Melty Blood Drain. Give me 1 second. Oh, this one was pretty good. This one was pretty fucking good. Bam. Ba 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 da ba. Dun dun. Nope. 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 This is so dumb. Is this just not in the fucking game? Wow. Really? Really? It's just not here, man. What the fuck? I remember so many of these songs, but none of them are the ones I'm looking for. Ah, this one is it. This is the song. I would blast this for every single fight I could do it. Best song in the entire game. Which one? Which one did you want me to put in? Listen to this. Sure, I'll type it in. I'll put it in. Copy. I got the song I needed anyway. I'm gonna watch later. I need that for watch later because I'm definitely re-downloading that song for a video. Sure, I'll listen. Yo, I'm gonna get fucking demonetized if I click this. I don't think I can put this on the stream. I don't think I can. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that it isn't kind of funny sounding. Blood Drain. Melty Blood Drain, sure. I just came here, so I don't know if you know this, but use this theme, Dragon Ball Z Budokai Battle Theme 3. I got you. Okay. Oh, shit. How do I feel about Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3? I'll tell you in a second. It's not bad. Active sharing the work. Sharing involves uploading and managing my video on this platform. This video is generally available for entertainment purposes. I own the rights to free use and use the soundtrack. Yeah. This one isn't bad. This one isn't bad. This one definitely isn't bad. All right, this is the last song I'm gonna check out, though. This is the last song I'm checking out, though. Okay, this definitely isn't terrible, you know. Actually, this is kind of, hold on. You know what this kind of reminds me of? A Sonic, not Sonic, a Mega Man X song. Not even X. Like a Mega Man song, but like when you have to escape a location. This reminds me of like a Mega Man song where like you have to like escape a specific location. I don't know. Wait. Hold on, there's a piano. Do I have a favorite Elden Ring OST? I'm gonna be so honest with you, when I played Elden Ring, I did not listen to the music at all. While I was playing Elden Ring, I was up at like 4 in the morning listening to like 2 Dua Lipa songs in the background that I just found that I really liked. And every time I listen to those songs, or every time I hear those songs, I just remind myself in the middle of like Limgrave, shooting spells at different mobs and shit. I don't know, man. Elden Ring does not have the kind of OST that I care for. This is really some final boss shit, isn't it? Yeah, it's pretty good, actually. Hold up, that's actually pretty good. Alright, that's enough of that, though. That's enough of that. Nice little side story, side content we went on. Hey Young, how about you listen to some Dragon Ball Arabic dub opening? Trust me, it's peak. I definitely don't think I can put it. The Dragon Ball Arabic dub opening without getting demonetized. Now the other music is peak. Check out Godskin OST for Final Battle. Sure, I'll check that one out. This is the last one though. Elden Ring OST Godskin Apostle. Is it Godskin Apostle? To have that theme play during the Roaring Night, that's so funny. That's actually really cool. Fighting Radagon's theme is my favorite since it gives a proper final boss. This definitely isn't bad. This definitely isn't bad. I'm not personally a fan though of like I wouldn't sit here and say that like I'm personally like the biggest fan of like songs like this, at least for like listening purposes, but like I could definitely throw this into a video. I would definitely throw this into a video. I wouldn't mind that. Oh yeah, this one was crazy. This one was crazy. I do remember that. That's also like the main theme, right? Okay. This is important going into his... Let me make the background for this, because we still do need to get through this video. If we get up to 10 minutes, which we're close to at only 250, if we get up to 10 minutes, then that just leaves 3 minutes for tomorrow. I finish that, and then I can probably just do the entirety of the... I can just do the entirety of the editing portion within the day. It shouldn't take too long. It definitely shouldn't take too long, but, you know, we're gonna... We're gonna do it like that. Yep. You see Big Girl from AOT is lit too. You know what game actually has some music that I do fuck with? Like, a lot? Racing Cross Worlds OST. I think, like, this has some of, like, the better video game music I personally have heard. Let me see. No, I don't care for the opening thing. Fuck the opening thing. No, that's not what we're looking for. No, not those. Roulette Road, not Roulette Road. Metal Harbor. Oh, this one's sick. This one's great. Yeah, I think it's pretty good. I think some of the music in this game is pretty damn good. I can't say all of it is great, but I do at least enjoy these bits. Going into his rematch with Bluno, there is a clear increase in Luffy's capabilities to the point Bluno can't land a hit. Luffy does... Okay, let's go back. Now let's actually get to some work. There is a clear increase in Luffy's capabilities to the point Bluno can't land a hit. You know what? What if I just instead... Do I have the episode where Luffy fights Bluno? I might just... No, I'll leave that portion right now. I'll leave that portion, I'll leave that portion out for now. I will eventually. I'd rather this in comparison to this. We'll go back. Turn it up. Luffy does blatantly state that he can't point Bluno can't land a hit. Luffy does blatantly state that he can't beat Bluno as he is, and proceeds to use second gear in order to take him out in 4 hits as far as the manga goes. This is important because after he fights, he eats some meat that he stored in his pockets and then goes on to fight Rob Lucci. That he can't beat Bluno as he is, and proceeds to use second gear in order to take him out in 4 hits. Okay. Proceeds to use second gear in order to take him out in 4 hits as far as the manga goes. This is important because after he fights, he eats some meat that he stored in his pockets and then goes on to fight. This is important because after he beats him... I guess I had such a workout. Meat! I have snacks! I have snacks. Deadass, yeah. After he fights, he eats some meat that he stored in his pockets and then goes on to fight Rob Lucci. Pockets, and then goes on to fight Rob, and then goes on. Okay, let's see. Over here. Move it back. Oh, we gotta close up all of this stuff right here. Turn it up, choo bum 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 bum. Turn it up, do 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 do. Bum 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 bum. I'm not answering that question, 6. I'm tired of the femboy Fuda questions. The answer is always going to be no in regards to anything remotely having to do with me interacting with them, unless it's saying hi, having a friendly conversation, or etc. I'm not doing that shit, dude. I don't think they just, I don't know. Those jokes, I don't know. I don't really. And then goes on to fight Rob Lucci in base, and both characters are relative. Now, luckily, both characters are relative. In base, and both characters are relative. Now, luckily, and both. Like the femboy and like the femboy feet and Fuda stuff is funny, but we gotta get some new jokes in here. Gotta get some new jokes, something different. Sunset, at least let me say I won't let you pass. Ah! Right here. Bro Drew. And both characters are relative. Now, luckily for us, Oda created a quantitative system in One Piece that specifically focuses on physical abilities, and both characters are relative. Now, luckily for us, Oda created a quantitative system in One Piece that specifically focuses on physical abilities, and it's called Doriki. Doriki. Do you like Fortnite balls? Depending on your context for Fortnite balls. What do you mean by Fortnite balls? Piece that specifically focuses on physical abilities, and it's called Doriki. Doriki doesn't account for Devil Fruit powers. It only accounts for Fortnite balls are Fortnite balls. That's not very descriptive, so I will just refuse to answer your question until you are descriptive enough to give me the full context of what it is that you're asking me without it being some kind of gotcha. What's next? What's next? Ah, there we go. The Tiwase. The Tiawase. The Tiawase. Tiawase. Do da da dum. Dun 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 dun. Turn it up. Do 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 do. Really? He has a power level of Knight. Fortnite balls are just Fortnite, but with balls. Okay, but what kind of balls are we referencing? What do these balls do? Are they balls that mess with the gameplay, or what are we talking here? I'm just gonna use both of these. Do you think that One Piece would have surpassed Superman in sales sooner if Nami fights were written by Mashima? Oh, 100,000 billion trillion % it would have. I have no doubt in my mind that if Hiro Mashima was actually the one writing One Piece, or at least anything related to Nami, it would truly be the greatest piece of media ever. Just Nami and Robin specifically. I don't need them to talk about literally anybody else. Just have them focus on Nami and Robin's writing when it comes to the fights, and I think we're good. Doriki. Doriki doesn't account for Devil Fruit powers. It only accounts for physical prowess, and Rob Gucci has... Robberino Gucci... No, Gucci Nori, something like that. Yeah, denial of Fortnite balls means you like Fortnite balls. How is it denial of? I'm asking you questions and you're choosing to not present to me the information that you're referencing. Therefore, how can I like something? How do you think Sanji and Zoro level up this time around? How do I think that they level up? They get stronger. Characters in One Piece just get stronger. I don't know what to tell you. They just get stronger. I can give you a reason I can give you at least a consistent pattern for why Luffy gets stronger. For Zoro, you can argue I think for Zoro, you can just genuinely argue that it's like just drinking sake. Okay, back at it. Or are you referencing, like, how do I think they level up this time around in terms of, I mean, it's just Fortnite, but with balls. I don't know what else to say. Yeah, but, like, what are the balls you're talking about? What are, like, bouncy balls? Are we talking about balls relative to, like, some kind of gameplay loop? Like, what? Like, again, you're just saying Fortnite balls. I'm not going to answer yes or no if I'm not given actual context. Do you think Zoro could defeat all of Luffy's previous villains/enemies? Everyone but Kaido. I think Zoro could, honestly, at this point, beat anyone but Kaido. If it's anyone but specifically Kaido, Katakuri, Curb Stomp. I don't think Katakuri's tanking Zoro's hits, especially if King couldn't. Katakuri's not tanking his hits. Doflamingo's fodder at this point. Dwardy Jones gets slashed into fucking pieces in the same way that he did back in Fishman Islands. Caesar Clown. I don't think Zoro beats Kizaru either. You don't think he beats Kizaru? Yeah, you can argue Kizaru. You can also argue even offers Kizaru. If you go through teleportation that kills you and creates a perfect genetic copy of yourself with all the same S's, is it still you or is it a different person? It's a different person. You could say that they have the same genetic information. Well, you're saying also the same essence and memories. It wouldn't be me from a technical perspective. It would be a clone, and a clone wouldn't necessarily be me, but you can argue that if it has the same essence and memories, it is as close to the real person as it could possibly be. Big Mom wasn't necessarily one of Luffy's opponents. I don't think you understand. It's like Sukuna balls. It's Sukuna but with balls. Okay, but again, what are we referencing in terms of the balls? Because there's a lot of different ways you can describe balls. Are you referencing balls as, again, play balls? Are you bouncy balls, baseball, basketball? Like, what are we talking about with balls? Again, I'm not answering something unless you give me an objective definition for what you're referencing. Powers. It only accounts for physical prowess, and Rob Gucci has a Doriki of 4,000, while Bluno and Fukuro have a Doriki counts. Prowess and Rob. Okay. And Rob Gucci has a Doriki of 4,000, while Bluno and Fukuro have a Doriki of 820 and 800 respectively. To further add to this, Frankie shows up to the I'll give you one example. It's like Nami balls. Nami, but with balls. I'm just going to answer no, Lapis. The answer is just going to be, unless you explain to me what you mean by balls, unless you specifically and Unless you give me a specific, objective definition for what you mean by balls, I'm just going to consistently tell you, no, I'm not answering it. I'm not really on for the nonsense right now. I'm not really on for some bullshit gotcha right now. When the fuck do we get to the... God damn, Luffy's fight with Rob Lucci really just is the longest fight in this whole fucking thing, bro. Like, you mean Nami with cannonballs? Yeah, like, is it Nami with cannonballs? Nami again with what? Playful balls? Weather balls? Thunder balls? Like, what are we fucking talking about? Or is he just saying balls to the note male genitalia? No, then no. I'm just gonna say no. No, it's gonads, Kanona's orbs, spheres. Like, yeah, like, what are we talking about here? Are we talking about, like, actual physical balls, like the slang term for testicles? Or are we talking about, like, playing balls? Like, I don't know, Nami with a big bouncy yoga ball, or Nami with a basketball, Nami with a baseball, Nami with a thunderball. Like, I don't know, man. What do you think are hotter, One Piece women or Fairy Tail women? Alright. Give me a chapter, give me a random chapter for like a Fairy Tail girl. Give me a random chapter. I'll answer that right now. Does the man control the balls, or does the balls control the men? Alright, give me your Fairy Tail chapter. Chapter 341, sure. Weeb Central. I'll base my entire analysis off of a single image that you have presented to me versus a single image that I have found for Fairy Tail women. Sorry, for One Piece women. 341, sure. 341, sure. Fuck me, dude. Alright. Unfortunately, it's not in color, which just makes this wholly more worse. Well, that also does help out quite a bit. Jesus Christ, Hiro Mashima's got problems. They couldn't help but throw Lucy's foot in there, could they? Jesus Christ. Oh, of course, we needed this specific shot right here, right? Yeah. There... Well... Fairy Tail does go out of its way to present its females' assets a lot more consistently than something like One Piece. How the fuck is this made for children? It's probably important lore-wise. I'm sure this shit was integral to the plot. I'm sure that if these scenes weren't drawn exactly as they were drawn, the story would just not make any kind of sense whatsoever. Let's... God damn it, dude. Why the fuck is Hiro Mashima such a fucking pervert, dude? Their feet are very important to the point. Ain't that right, Eon? Sure. Anyone got any chapters for One Piece that could help me figure this out? You know what? We'll leave it to a wheel spin. We'll leave it to a wheel spinner. How do I change the inputs? Type or paste multiple inputs. One Piece girls And then the other one is Fairy Tale. Then let's just copy, paste, paste, and then we'll do copy, paste, paste, paste. All right, now we have 4 and 4. All right. Well, I mean, clearly this was the answer all along. Yeah. Yeah, clearly One Piece Girls then. Is it bad that I immediately knew which chapter to look at for this? Is it a bad thing that I immediately knew like which chapter, where to exactly to share, or not share, but look up this specific chapter? To be fair though, we were clicking through these pages yesterday when I was trying to find something, and I did come across it, so it's not as terrible. The Wheel No Ball, yeah, it kind of is. It's not inherently. Yeah, you can look at yesterday's stream. We came across it. No, it's not. It's not that bad. To further add to this, Frankie shows up to the Luffy versus Lucci fight and lands a strong hammer right on Lucci's chest. Robert Lucius says, I don't think it's that bad. I think you guys are just exaggerating a tad bit, like how bad it might seem. Me personally, I think that I don't deserve any kind of prejudice or any kind of situation, just, you know, any kind of, like, you know, call out or anything like that just because of that. You know, it's just, I just know ball. You know, sometimes you just know ball. Sometimes you just know ball, and that's okay. Strong hammer right on Lucci's chest. Robert Lucius says that his Doriki is 5 times greater than Fukuro's and proceeds to put down Frankie in a single blow. This inherently implies that Doriki scales up linearly. As a I will copy, paste, copy, paste. As a reminder, Luffy previously claimed that he couldn't beat Blueno as he was, which means his base form had to be somewhere around 820 as well, and yet he's not only fighting a guy who is 4 point right on Lucci's chest. Robert Lucius, he couldn't beat Blueno as he was. As a reminder, what do you think would win Lucci versus Katakuri? I think Lucci speed blitzes. I think Lucci might unironically speed blitz Katakuri. I would probably argue so. I don't know. Like, you're like, what does Katakuri really have but Future Sight itself? And we're fighting against characters that essentially have power cliffed Katakuri via Wano. Like, the problem with Katakuri is just that he was introduced to the story prior to the point where we would get a major uptick in character abilities and character prowess and physical abilities, at a point in which, you know, he still seemed strong, and it just kind of solidified. It kind of just more and more solidified just this idea that, like, yeah, no, Katakuri is... he's not a weak character by any semblance, but he's, like, just not even remotely fighting even, like, the first commanders at this point. As a reminder, Luffy previously claimed that he couldn't beat Blue... Where is the statement? Yes, I can't do it. I can't beat you like this. Yes, Blueno, yes. I can't beat you like this. Yes. Yes. A reminder, Luffy previously claimed that he couldn't beat Blueno as he was, which means his base form had to be somewhere around 820 as well, and yet he's not only fighting a guy who is 4.9 times stronger than Blueno, around 820 as well, and yet he's not only fighting a guy who is 4... Cat's chin is questionable, like Devin Haney. Who the fuck is Devin Haney? Devin Haney. What's the most unattractive first name for males? Who the fuck is this? Okay, so professional boxer Devin Haney. Is in talks for major issues, stands in way. Well, clearly it's this gentleman right here. Clearly someone that would fuck up every single person in this chat combined at the same time. Devin Henny. Glass jaw? Loser of main event, alleged broken jaw. Shocking comment. Okay, I don't know. So he just has like a glass jaw. This dude's just like, oh, I get knocked out because I can't take a punch to the face. And yet he's not only fighting a guy who is 4.9 times stronger than Bluno in base, but he's not only fighting You know what? No, we're not doing that. Ba 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 da ba 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 da ba 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 da ba 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 da ba. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. No, I haven't seen the latest season of Invincible. Ba da ba 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 ba. I haven't seen this Superman knockoff. Why do I recognize that song you're singing? Because it's from Legend of Zelda. I think it's the Ocarina. I think it's like the Kokiri Forest theme. Base Luffy had Whole Cake on Luffy. Base Luffy on Whole Cake had him bleeding with a punch. That's bad, man. Yeah, it was really bad. It was really, really bad. I don't know if Oda still intends. I don't know if Oda personally intends for like Katakuri to still be like relevant within the context of the story, at least as far as like the higher tiers go, as far as like first commanders and all that stuff. But like, dude, base Luffy with a fucking kick to the jaw, making him like drawing heavy blood from Katakuri. I think that shit was fucking disastrous for Katakuri scaling. I think that was absolutely disastrous for Katakuri stocks. Bro had his arms looking like blocks. Bro had him looking like a fucking Roblox character with the way his arms were shaped, and yet for whatever reason, bro decided, oh yeah, no, I don't need to cover my fucking chin. Yeah, no, all this future sight or whatever, yeah, no, I don't need to cover my chin, bro. I don't know. Irreparable damage is what he did. Lucid Figments on YouTube by Baddington. If that is a song that is copyrighted, there's no way I'm putting it up. No fucking way I'm doing that, man. No fucking way. No flarkin' way, man. No flarkin' way. The fact that the polls think Kizaru has a better chance against Katakuri has a better chance against Kizaru than Zoro and Sanji combined. That is insane. What's good, Aura? That is fucking insane. Oh no, it's just a cool video. Well, not right now. I want to get through this first before I start looking back on anything. A guy who is 4.9 times stronger than Bluno in base, but he's now at the very least relative to Robbie Boy. This means that fighting or at but he's now at the very least relative to Robbie Boy. This athletic nihilism or module realism. Explain to me what those concepts are, and then maybe I'll answer. I demand the video be unlisted and sent the link so I get the first comment half an hour before it goes public. Sent the link so I get the first comment. Sure, some nonchalant shit. I mean, if you want me to accommodate that, I can. Sounded like Shrek for a second. Oh, did I now? Did I sound like Shrek now? Get out of my swamp! Get out of my freaking swamp. I shouldn't have Shrek. Shrek would never say the F word.
But he's now at the very least
Say
relative
donkey.
to Robbie Boy. This means that
Say donkey. You think that these guys, these hooligans, are going to do anything they want with my food? I don't know, Shrek. I don't know. How do you guys like my my Irish or Scottish accent? I don't know. I think I flip-flop between the both of them.
This means that fighting, or at least in this case, undergoing a one-sided curb stomp and then eating makes Luffy at least 5 times stronger. I know some people don't care for the Doriki meta,
But it is canon. And I genuinely don't care if people don't like it. It is, objectively speaking, canon. It is objectively speaking canon. So if you don't like the fact that Luffy out here, if you don't like the idea, if you really don't like the idea, no, wrong one. Why isn't the new Fairy Tail chapter out yet? See, again, you say all of these things. You say all these things about Fairy Tail being bad and everything, but you're going out of your way to constantly want for more, Aster. Maybe it's not Stockholm Syndrome. Maybe it's just that a part of you really likes Fairy Tail, and one of the biggest reasons might just be that the girls are constantly showing their feet, tits, and ass. Which, to be fair, I don't think anybody is going to complain about. I don't do nuts. Butter pecan ice cream, I definitely don't do nuts. I'm not a fan of any kind of nut. Like cashews, peanuts, walnuts, macadamias, almonds, pistachios. I've never cared for nuts as a kid. I don't know.
this means that fighting, or at least in this case, undergoing a one-sided curb stomp and then eating makes Luffy at least 5 times stronger. I know.
Is everything is true because all possibilities are real and their own worlds. Aletic nihilism is that nothing is true because truth is a concept that doesn't exist. I don't know if I agree with either of them. I don't know if I could conceptually agree with either of them. You say that everything is true because all possibilities are real and their own worlds, but that's not necessarily true. There's no way that a possibility of the Earth being flat is real because we know for a fact from an objective standpoint that that cannot be real, so everything can't be true. We also know that 2 plus 2 does not equal 3 or 56, so we know that that can't be true, but at the same time, we know that there are truths in this world. That if there's no such thing as nothing is true, because if nothing is true, then it must be true that nothing is true. Which in and of itself is a paradox of a concept. Truth as a concept doesn't exist, but for that to be absolute, that must be that for this ideology to be true, that must mean it is an absolute truth. But it cannot be an absolute truth because therefore it would be contentious in and of itself. It would be what's the word here? Contradicting in and of itself. But not even just that, we know that there are certain things that are just objectively meant to be true. Also, that can also just be explained by Stockholm Syndrome. I mean, yeah, but is it really Stockholm Syndrome when you get to look at hot babes showering and bathing with each other? I don't know, man. And I suppose for some of you freaks, you can also see consistently their feet. Which, to be fair, you know, is that technically a terrible thing? No, but, you know. If you're into that, you're into that. Believing in athletic nihilism is taking the position of analytic nihilism. It's not stating it's true. If you believe in it, that must mean that to an extent you must believe that it is true. So that in and of itself is self-contradictory. You can't take a stand. You can take the stands. I mean, you can take the stands, sure, but if you genuinely believe in it, then to an extent that means that it must be true. We believe in things because we believe that those things are true. You can't sit here and tell me I don't know, I don't know. I would find it weird if you sit here and told me that you're Muslim, but you don't believe in Allah. You know what I mean? I would think it's a bit weird to say that you're Christian, but you don't believe in God. Or you don't believe in the concept of God. You know what I mean? Like, what would be the point then?
I know some people don't care for the Doriki meta, but unfortunately for all of you, it is canon. All the numbers are not only blatantly given to us by the author, but it implies a bare minimum growth for Luffy per island, since he objectively goes through tougher battles than his non-consensual backshots on Blueno.
Oh, that's right! That's right! When I was writing up the script, I thought, what's the funniest way I could describe this?
Since he objectively goes through tougher battles than his non-consensual backshots on Blueno. We are...
Yo, yeah, non-consensual backshots on Blueno. What, you thought Blueno gave consent to the absolute curb stomp that Luffy fucking gave him? Oh, come on now. Let's not kid ourselves here, chat. Also, the latest chapters, there isn't that much fan service. So if there's not that much fan service, why the fuck are you reading why are you worried about the new chapter of Fairy Tail coming out? What the fuck are we talking about here? Well, hold on. It's not that funny, Unc. It really is that fucking funny. But anyway, no, what I find funny, though, is that you're out here saying the latest chapters don't even have that much fan service, which means that you want the new chapter to come out for the sake of the story coming out. You need to put a YTP sound effect when that line is read out. What's the... Wait, what? YTP sound effect? What's that? YTP sound effect? YTP sounds? Let me see.
YouTube poop. Where there's smoke. Shut up! No!
It probably sounds a bit silly to some.
No! That's Mama Luigi to you, Mario! Fingers! Shut up! Mama? Mama Luigi?
What YouTube poop sound effect should I do?
You must die! Here's the problem. Too many toasters.
Mario with a deep voice is haunting. My dogs, do you like them? Those are cute dogs. Those are very cute dogs. They almost look like sheep. That's how woolly they must be. Alright, so while I edit through this...
Since he objectively goes through tougher battles than...
just some goofy-ass sound effect. Alright,
Since he objectively goes through tougher battles than his
than the non-consensual backshots he gave Blueno. That is probably one of the greatest lines I've ever said. Kensuke gonna take out each Leaf Hokage member that's not Naruto. Hokage member? Hashirama might be a problem, but I don't see Hashirama's Wood Golem getting through domain expansion. I don't know. Let me think. Hashirama, Tobirama, Hiruzen, and Minato are not tanking domain expansion. Hiruzen likely well, okay. Hashirama does have Sage Mode and so does Minato, but the problem with those two specifically is that they both need to stay still at least for a little bit in order to get Sage Mode up, and if Sukuna just sends out a flying slash at any of them, he cuts their head off. Tsunade, I'm not even going to count in the conversation. Tsunade is just not worth talking about. She has to basically get up close on him first, and I just don't think she's doing that. Actually, a good sound effect, the Looney Tunes hurt sound effect. You know what would actually be good? Now, you said Looney Tunes, but hear me out on this. What about Tom and Jerry hit sounds? Tom and Jerry hit sound effect. What do you mean they aren't tanking it? Oh, this guy's back. Yeah, no, they're not tanking one of Sukuna's slashes to the fucking head. Yeah, no, they're not surviving that. No, not that. Alright, but no, we need No, I don't need Tom screaming. I need, sound effects. No, not that one. I need, like, painful, violent slapstick. No, not that one. I don't want the hit. Impact sound effect. Impact sound effect. Yeah, I think that's what we want. Yo, that really is just as a shotgun blast.
Gotcha, bitch.
Yeah, what about them? Okay, so they're the Hokage. Stitching up Sukuna, Danzo is slicing up Sukuna. They're never getting close to Sukuna. If you think so, you just genuinely think that Sukuna's standing there and taking a hit. No, I don't need that. Where the... There really just isn't a sound... Oh, big hit. Jesus. No. Damn. It's not the running sound effect, it's the impact sound effect I'm looking for. The... Yeah, I'm just gonna... Hashirama's wood can tank a tailed beast bomb. How exactly does Sukuna replicate that kind of damage? World Cutting Slash or Fuga. World Cutting Slash or Fuga. Tom getting hurt also works, yeah. Minato can just speed past the slashes? No, he can't. How is he speeding past the slashes? Not like he needs to, since these slashes aren't even gonna hurt Minato at all, but the speed gap is too huge. Minato just finger shots him. When has Minato ever finger shot anyone? Can you express that to me first? When has Minato ever finger shot anyone? Okay, back to this. Since he objectively goes through tougher battles... How does Fuga replicate the damage of a tailed beast bomb? Well, it's a thermobaric explosion that uses high pressurization. The tailed beast bomb is just an explosion. For starters. B, it's a wood golem, and we know for a fact that fire style is effective against the wood constructs. I mean, you see Madara basically use it in conjunction with his blast. If Hashirama... For starters, you'd have to argue that Hashirama goes first for a wood golem immediately as the fight progresses. And, I mean, he never sees any of Sukuna's slashes coming in the first place. Like, you put those two in a fight and Hashirama puts his hands together, Sukuna... Even if you say that both of them released an attack at the exact same time, Hashirama's gonna be sending out giant trees at Sukuna while Sukuna's sending out an invisible slash at Hashirama that he doesn't even know is coming. Sukuna can dice up the trees. Hashirama can't physically stop the slash from hitting him unless he knows or for whatever reason premeditatedly brings it up. What are we talking about? The bias. Maki dodged all the slashes because Maki can sense changes in air pressure. Can you show me an example where... We're not doing this again. Dude, you know what? No, fuck off. I'm not doing this again with you people. I'm not going with this whole bullshit where you guys make up some bullshit-ass argument that because Maki can sense changes in air pressure, now all of a sudden, that means one Naruto characters can do that too, which no, Hashirama never does that. Sage mode, sure, I'm gonna grant them Sage mode. If you grant them Sage mode, sure. But that's also under the condition that, like, Hashirama just sits back long enough, thinks that he needs Sage mode, then sits back for long enough to want to do it, and Sukuna doesn't just hit him with a World Cutting Slash. Do you know how weak Maki is? Do you know that Sukuna does... do you know that Hashirama can't sense changes in air pressure? There you go. That's my answer. That is my answer. I'm not doing this again. I've had this discussion before. If it's Minato, Domain Expansion beats Minato 10 times out of 10. Domain Expansion beats Hiruzen. It beats Tobirama, especially since he has a worse version of FTG. And Hashirama's like the most contentious one. I will at least give that to Hashirama's the most contentious one. And Tsunade's not an argument. Kakashi lost all of his ability, at least his Sharingan, so he can't Kamui Sukuna. I don't know how powerful Purple Lightning is, so I can't argue on that end. I'm not gonna make some argument on Purple Lightning, but Kakashi can't see the changes in air pressure either, so he just gets his head cut off. Yeah. Minato tanked getting his limb and body separated. That's not tanking. Literally took it. But are you arguing something completely different from what you said? You said domain expansion can take out the wood golem. The fact that it is a stronger type of explosion doesn't take away. I mean, I would disagree with it being a stronger type of explosion since it only blows up mountains. Granted, I will say that within Sukuna's domain expansion, he basically incinerates and turns everything inside the domain into ash in the first place. Massive difference in the scale of the explosion. Well, the Fuga is limited to the 200 meters. It's limited in range to the 200 meters, but that doesn't limit its output per se. And we also know that Sukuna is easily capable of cleaving through slashes at max output and turning everything around him into dust, so I don't know. I guess it comes down to that, but even if I were to retract on the domain expansion, he still just loses to World Cutting Slash.
Since he objectively goes through...
Oh. Wait, what was I supposed to do here?
Since he objectively...
You just don't like Naruto, dude. That's why. No, it's not the... No, that's not the case. I love Naruto. You just don't like me saying it because you can't develop an argument to counter me.
Since he objectively goes through
Just needs to
tougher
use his
battle...
kunai. Could see the effects of the slash on the wood style and move? Not necessarily. Especially if you're basically now arguing that he shoots out wooden constructs at Sukuna. Sukuna shoots a slash at him, and for whatever reason, the wooden constructs are just gonna get hit by the slash. At that point, now you're just saying that the slash is gonna take it up. Sure, that might be an example of it, but he also would never know when Sukuna's shooting out a slash to begin with. So again, that's not really an argument. And even then, okay, but what proves the range was big or it would be powerful enough to wipe out a mountain? Nothing. It is my personal opinion. If you want to hear it, yeah, it is just my personal opinion. Nothing more, nothing less. It is just my personal opinion, as I've said before. Uphaste Kashimo's electricity attack beam thing, yeah. Let's see.
Since he objectively goes through tougher
Okay, so what do I use for this? Tougher battles would be... what do I use for this? I think against Bluno, I should use probably one from... Do we do Thriller Bark? Yeah, I think we do Thriller Bark. Since he goes through tougher battles... Since he goes through tougher battles, we'll use this. We'll use this image. We'll use Gojo ate the Malevolent Shrine. No, he didn't. Well, for starters, no, he didn't. Gojo had the entirety of the outside of his skin. The entire outer layer of his skin was completely torn to shreds, and he needed both RCT, which most Kokage don't have, and he also needed a simple domain which lowered the output of the slashes. Was smiling after taking Malevolent Shrine, it did nothing to Gojo. No, you would be lying to yourself if you said it did nothing to Gojo. You would be objectively lying to yourself. Not me. I wouldn't personally believe what you say just because you don't really have anything to back it up, but no. He was continuously healing. By Calx, Karama is country level.
goes through tough...
Okay, so we'll use that. We will use Sabaody. We need to use Sabaody Archipelago. We need to use Sabaody Archipelago. We'll use... We'll use this. We'll use this. Let me throw in. We'll use. You know what? I'll even throw in Kaido. Actually, I'll throw in the Whole Cake Island fight. I think that one's actually better. You know who else has continuous healing? I would not say that Hashirama's continuous healing is as good as Gojo's. I would not say that at all. That motherfucker can't even grow back a limb. I don't think we're going to use Mori. I think we'll just use these. Yeah.
Then his non-consensual backshots on Bluno. Then his
What do I have the episode where... Do I have the episode where I posted a short if you care? Yeah, I could check it out. I would love to check out one of your shorts, man. Strat Aura. Sweet. Internet antagonist. Need shorts. Shorts.
Debunking the debunker.
Calling me back up when you called me out. I mentioned your name because he's defending your claims. That's not the point. Aura had to defend you, not gonna lie, but I still beat the both of you. I'll be honest, unless I find someone's points really funny or entertaining to debunk, I don't really care enough to respond to them. Unfortunately, this poor soul got an ego and wanted to start talking like he beat me.
Don't try to embarrass yourself. Don Chinjo split a hollow ice continent.
That's a claim. Prove it.
Your clips, because in the movie they show the evidence and you show the evidence later on. You're trying to deny the fact because somehow you believe that whole is a clip at the 5 Hobby Summit where they believe that this is the actual moon. The Aura's evidence is literally nonsense. This is literally the reason why they will gonna destroy the moon, because the moon will crash on Earth. If the moon is actually hollow, it would not even destroy the Earth in the first place.
That's a claim. Prove it. It's not like this is a live debate. You've had prep time and you still can't attack this point.
Notice how his argument says that you were watching it wrong, even though he showed the clip of the moon being hollow, and he showed the moon being hollow. You must
Yeah, it sounds like it kind of got a little filtered.
be delusional if you see here that the moon is hollow. This is the evidence Aura shows, but this doesn't prove that the moon is hollow, as it doesn't show the full picture of its core inside the moon.
Wow, you trimmed that clip very carefully to not show what I showed. It's okay, I'll slow down the clip so you're forced to use your fucking sight receptors.
Light speed. Literally seeing speed of light. No wonder why you said the moon is hollow, because you're not reading or watching. You're just cherry picking your arguments. Yeah.
Sukuna barely gets past building level. The Hokage can demolish continents. Can you show me a feat where Hashirama, Tobirama, Hiruzen, Minato, Tsunade, Kakashi, or Naruto destroyed continents? Can you show me the statement that implies that any of the first 6 Kage or Naruto can blow up an entire continent? Actually, well, the conversation was specifically for the first 6 Hokage, not including Naruto. Naruto, I'll just give planetary. That's fine. Can you give me an example of any of the Hokage not named Naruto that can destroy a continent? I'll wait for that.
Yeah, you said it verbatim states that from those SPSs that he caps at those set speed, but I don't see it anywhere in that SPS. You're implying that he is capped at those speeds via those SPS, but you're not even taking a second to...
In SBS, it does not state that he caps at light speed, but the SBS also never states he is faster than light.
You're trying to contradict FTL Kizaru by saying that it's stated he moves at light speed. There's no inconsistency with a faster-than-light character being capable of light speed movement. Unless you have a statement that he's going all out to achieve this speed, that's not a contradiction. A character whose FTL can slow down to light speed if they're not going all out. I guess the idea of movement when you're not fighting for your life is fucking mind-blowing.
Not to mention in the same SPS that you were talking about again, but it also implies that even he doesn't know who did. Kizaru moves faster than the author, so therefore he would be moving way faster than the author's perception. Moving faster than narrative.
Kizaru is faster than the author. Yeah, you're smoking Caesar's gas poison.
Apparently you're the only person
And yet, no. Well, her healing is never stated to be worse than Hashirama's. Her healing is never remotely implied to be worse. Madara considered her healing worse until he saw the strength of Hundred's healing, and then he said, so it is the same as the first Hokage's first. She stated that she could regrow a limb, but yet she never regrows her limbs back. She doesn't regrow the bottom half of her body. So, and it's basically just a statement that we have to entirely believe that she can do, with no statement or feat to normally back it up. I usually hate when you guys ask for big favors, like, it's so tiresome. I'm not asking you for a big favor. You're making a claim, and I'm telling you, prove it. I will be, if you don't even have to, you know what's crazy? You know what the funniest part about that is? You could just say, all right, Eon, check out chapter XYZ with page XYZ. You could just say, check out this chapter and this statement from here. Look this up specifically on Google, and I would more than be willing to do that. I'm not going to just go out of my way to prove your point. Find the chapter, tell me what chapter page it is, and then I'll do it. The reason why you hate this is because you like the type of power scaling, or what you call power scaling, where it's just, well, this guy is way too fast, way too strong, blah, 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 but you never back up your claims. You never quantify your claims. You're just here to say, well, there's nothing in One Piece that gets past the first arc of Naruto, but then you don't want to substantiate it. You don't want to talk about it. You don't want to prove it. The reason why you hate it is because you hate the idea that when somebody tells you, all right, substantiate this, you don't say either A, it's my opinion, or you'd rather just say, no, I just hate this because now you're making me essentially back up my claim. For example, earlier before, Aster told me, what makes you substantiate the fact that a Fuga, the divine flame, is more powerful than a tailed beast bomb? I just said it's my opinion.
I didn't even back. I just said it's my opinion. Sure. Whatever. Take from that whatever you want. Sure, that's fine. That's okay. Earlier, somebody else said, yo, Eon, when we were talking about, like, One Piece Devil Fruit scaling to the user, somebody said, yo, check out this chapter. Okay, sure. It backed up what I was saying. Then somebody said, no, check out this chapter. Oh, it contradicted what I was saying. So we were then having a discussion about it. You're just saying, oh, the Hokage are continental. Okay, prove it. And if you're just going to say, well, the Hokage are continental because I believe that they are, not because I can prove it, sure, that's fine, but then I'm just going to say in one ear, out the other. That's your opinion. I don't personally care. Your opinion at this point, meaningless. Anyway, Onoki's feat there, that's one of them. Which Onoki feat? Which Onoki feat implies that they can destroy an entire continent?
Earth who's allowed to take SBS statements hyper literally. Is your bad faith argument biting you in the ass or what?
Oda only making a hint that he helped Luffy for his fans. This doesn't mean Kizaru is faster than the author.
You mean the same way your fallacious ass argument from silence doesn't mean that Kizaru can't go faster than light? If Oda was paying attention to Kizaru and given the fact that he's the one drawing him, he would kind of have to be, yeah, Kizaru would have to be perception blitzing his own author. Unless you're, I don't know, providing some equal interpretation that Oda wasn't paying attention to Kizaru. Because the feeling I'll get when I then apply the same logic to everyone not looking at Kizaru because they're focused on Bonnie will be euphoric.
Yes, I have debunked you. That's why Aura had to step in, because you got cooked and ranting in the comment section. I can take the both of you. You can mention as many One Piece glazers as you want.
I can see why you use a text-to-speech voice. I wouldn't want this content associated with me either. Like, we're power scaling manga and this motherfucker's talking about solo squatting because he thinks he's fucking Batman.
You lifted a turtle that towers over a country with one hand. No, the turtle doesn't tower over the country, and the turtle was, if anything, lighter than the 80-meter tall meteor that he couldn't stop from moving. Also, a turtle that he lifted up with a jutsu. A turtle, mind you, that he lifted up with a jutsu that makes it specifically lighter, so it's not even physical raw strength that's lifting up that turtle. He's just making it as light as possible. I'm having a go one, Bitwizard. I'm having a go one. If you want, I can even show it to you. No. That's not. Also, this is not a continental feat, because you'd have to somehow prove to me that the turtle is the size of a continent in the first place. And unfortunately for you, my friend, you cannot prove that. You basically can't prove to me that this turtle is the size of a continent, because it's never even remotely depicted near any other object other than a ship. So what are we doing here? Because I could, in the same way you could say this turtle is the size of a city, I could just say, oh, this turtle's maybe like a kilometer long, which can, and wonder why I never like presenting more of this stuff, you guys always pushing us back. Yes, I will give you pushback, because your interpretation doesn't mean that you are 100% correct. And if I can offer you information like, oh, what was it again? What was it again? Let's see. Oh yeah, Onoki couldn't stop this meteor from dropping on his head. What was it again? Oh, yeah. Didn't he struggle to stop a meteor that is smaller than the perfect Susanoo that isn't even quantifiably 100 meters tall? So now we have a bit of a contentious little problem, right? Either you think that this turtle, for whatever reason, makes Onoki island level, island physically strong, whatever the fuck you want to, whatever BS reasoning you want to throw in there, or, you know, we sit here and we argue, hey man, maybe, just maybe, is literally battle damaged, bro. Battle damaged by what? By the meteor? Yeah, it fell on top of him. Yeah, 100%. It fell on top of him. He had a lightened meteor on his head, and then another one fell. Not Turtle Continent or Turtle Nation. Yeah. Oh, but look at this. That same meteor. Let me just pull it up. That same exact meteor is smaller than the perfect Susanoo, which is about as large as Kurama, which is, what was it again? Oh yeah, not even over 80 meters tall, unless you give him every benefit of doubt. Couldn't stop the meteor on his own, but could lift up the island. Crazy. He was damaged before this? Not necessarily. Onoki really hadn't taken much damage before this. As a matter of fact, let's see. Where is Onoki before this? Let's see where Onoki takes all of that battle damage. Let's look it up real quick. Let's click through the panels. Let's click through the pages. Oh, look at that. Oh wait, Onoki did take. Oh no. It wasn't even Onoki that took the damage. No, because you know what it was? It was sand. Yeah, no. Onoki really doesn't take that much damage before this. He really does not. What he hurts? Oh, you're talking about his back. Oh man, Onoki's back is what's battle damage. I see. Yeah, no, his back is what's battle damage. Sure. But it didn't seem like his back was really holding him back before, right? So, Oh, you're referencing this? You know, the part where, like, oh, this is also a sand clone, and he's actually not there, but he's taken in by the Kazekage? Interesting. Yes. Yes, that wasn't actually him. That wasn't actually Onoki. That was actually just a sand clone. So what else do we have here? I don't really see Onoki taking damage before any of this, man. As a matter of fact, right by this point right here, Onoki's barely got any damage on him in the first place. Maybe like a little bit of like rough marks up here. I guess you could say like some dirt on top of him. So, interesting. Interesting. Yes. Onoki, all that damage Onoki must have taken. Yes. Yes, quite. All that damage Onoki must have taken before the meteor dropped. And this is why we use calcs and pixel scaling, not what he's doing. No, we don't use it. All about lifting with a bad back. First of all, you've never seen me lift, so you don't know if I actually lift with my back.
You can barely hold a 3-to-1 like-to-comment ratio. Your rebuttal was overcooked dog shit. The only reason I'm back is because you can't keep my name out of your mouth. You can have prime Naruto. I'll take pre-time skip Sanji with terminal cancer, syphilis, and 9 hemorrhoids.
Debunking the debunker.
Yo, Aura does not give a fuck, bro. Aura does not give a fuck. Oh, I'm not even subscribed. What the fuck? Oh, let's change that. I am fucking crying, dude. Aura, fantastic. That was great. That was really funny. That was funny.
Imagine being so peak you last through every era, truly a generational anime. The anime for One Piece is trash.
Notice how all you have to do is appreciate your own
Please try to
series
scale the
and
right way and actually earn my respect. Well, first of all, I don't need your respect. I don't really care to, like, earn your respect. But A, B, what do you mean scale the right way? As if there is an objectively correct way to power scale. You can argue that there are certain methodologies that you would probably be better off using, but, I mean, tell me I'm wrong. What exactly have I scaled incorrectly here? Because last time I checked, you don't objectively need pixel scaling and calcs and all that crap in order to scale. B, if you used pixel scaling, you would get Madara Susanoo to like 1 kilometer tall, and that's objectively incorrect, considering the fact that these meteors, considering the fact that it's as big as Kurama, and Kurama's not even 1 kilometer tall. He's not even 100 meters tall, canonically. And C, and most importantly, I don't know, man. If you don't like my scaling, why do you keep coming back? I don't know. Like, it just feels weird. If you just don't like my scaling, you don't have to be around. You're more than welcome to stick around. I'm not gonna tell you leave, get the fuck out. I don't feel that way either. We can have conversations. You can come over again. Wasn't as old as pre-time skip Eon. Was about as old as pre-time skip Eon. That's crazy! Fuck, man. Why do you always gotta come after me? Then his Okay. You're just purposely not using calcs because you saw... Actually, if I used calcs, I could probably get One Piece even higher than Naruto. If I used calcs, it would actually make the entirety of the conversation way more fucking one-sided. But anyway, what do you mean I'm mad over this? How can I be mad over a conversation that honestly doesn't even really upset me? Like, why would I be upset about this conversation? When the fuck does Luffy fight Bluto? Does anybody know the episode number? What the fuck? Hey! Luffy versus Lucci? Okay. So if that's Luffy versus Lucci, then this has to be Luffy versus Bluto, right? And somehow it isn't. Well, fuck me. Alright, let's try... 273. There's no way it's 273. Forget calcs. Just use the Horty Jones pill meta. Should I introduce the Draper Point calcs to get One Piece to uni? If you want to, you're more than welcome to. Yeah, it's this one. Okay, so 273. So we'll be using that. High hypersonic upscale, putting him faster than any highballed Part 1 character until the Sound 5. I'd like to crown myself as the person who was right at the end of the day. I mean, you can believe that you're right. That doesn't mean that you were right. But you're more than welcome to believe it. Personally, I don't know. I would say, if you have to go into some place and say, I would like to crown myself as the person who is right, I don't know if I would necessarily say that that would inherently make you right. I would, if anything, say that people would probably just look at that and be like, oh, what's wrong with this guy? When does he take the blow? Okay.
Okay, we'll use this bit right here. Yo, what if I like just do this back and forth? What if I just do this back and forth for Bluno? For the non-consensual back shots he took against Luffy. Yo, don't please, he's already dead. That's a bit sus. I sent the sound effect on Discord. I'll check it out in just a second. Let me open Discord back up. That looks crazy. That's what I'm saying, bruv. Add clapping sound effects. Ooh, that would be funny. Which Discord server did you send it to? Text debates right here? No. Did you send it to... Please don't tell me you sent it to the Great Bean War. Alright, good. Oh, let me see. I really do appreciate you, Ryoshu. I really appreciate you for this. Thank you. Thank you. This was very kind of you. Alright, let's see. Content. Let's open that up real quick. Content. Sound effects. And then we'll move this here. Beautiful. Sweet.
One's gonna come in and dunk on it. I'm not exaggerating. I can't name another series that has this same problem to the same extent.
That's not a subjective opinion. That's an objective fact. The anime is not that good.
I think someone needs a refresher on what objective means of a person or their judgment, not influenced.
Diamond acting like you don't agree with bogus One Piece statement feeds that have been debunked for years. The ice continent is hollow. The ice sheet, deal with it. I mean, what makes it hollow? Then his non-consensual backshots on Bluno. We obviously see more forms of power creep from more... Then his non-consensual backshots on Bluno. We obviously see more... Yo, Bluno looks disheveled, brother. Alright. Then his non-consensual backshots on Bluno. We obviously see more forms of power creep from Moria and Luffy absorbing 1,000... Did you not see the empty crack below the continent? It's hollow, keep crying. But it's also tougher than metal. It's also a clip that's tougher than metal, and we know for a fact they can manipulate their AoE. Loop the clip of Luffy crashing into Bluno's back with missile. Let's see. How the fuck do I do that again? Let me see. I think it's something like... Okay. Okay, so it's like right here, right? It's like right here. So we just go here. We separate this, right? And then what we do here is we do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then for every other one... let me remember how to do this. Event handles, event playback rate. No, wasn't it like, what was it again? It was here. No, was it effects? Reverse. But the ice is fragile. It could be hit on a weak spot, which is why it was broken. No, it's not, because you literally had multiple men sitting there telling themselves, what's good with this ice? No matter how much we blast it with fire and our pickaxes, it's not even remotely giving. In other words, the ice is so tough in and of itself that it quite literally cannot be scratched, even after with a metal pickaxe, even after your... One second. Even after taking a direct blow from metal pickaxes. Oh, reverse, reverse, and then reverse. 1,000 and 100 shadows, respectively, and splitting an island side. Wait, guys, hold on. What if we, like, make this really short? 1,000 and 100 shadows, respectively, and splitting an island-sized ship in half with a single punch. Hold on, what if we copy and then paste this whole thing back to back? Dog, they have been hitting at that spot for a while. Don Chinja just hit it while it was weakened from his other men. Except those weren't his men. Those weren't his men. Those were just random thieves that were trying to take his shit. And again, it literally, the page, quite objectively, with no room for interpretation, quite literally, right here, literally says, this is so weird. What's up with the staff? With the stuff? Not even our fire or our pickaxes will break it down. Not even fire or our pickaxes. It's so frustrating. We can see the pirate's treasure. There you go. So again, objectively wrong. Once again. 1,000 and 100 shadows respectively, and splitting an island-sized ship in half with a single punch. The continent polar oars, essentially requiring the entirety of the Straw Hat crew just to fight him alone. Kuma blitzing the... We obviously see more forms of power creep from Moria and Luffy absorbing 1,000 and 100 shadows respectively. We obviously see more forms of power creep from Moria and Luffy absorbing 1,000 and 100 shadows respectively, and splitting an island-sized ship in half with a single punch. Then his non-consensual backshots on Blueno. We obviously see more forms of power creep from Moria and Luffy absorbing 1,000 and 100 shadows respectively, and splitting an island... Okay, so... we don't need this 4th Great Ninja War crap. We don't need any of that. Marineford, Skypiea, Punk Hazard, Thriller Bark. There we go. Thriller Bark, Luffy and Oars, both taking the shadows. Yep. No, not that. No, not that. Ah! Fuck off, Discord! There we go. This, and then this. Of power creep from Moria and Luffy absorbing 1,000 and 100 shadows respectively, and splitting an island-sized ship in half with a respectively, and splitting it was actually supposed to be here, and splitting an island-sized ship in half with a single punch. The continent polar oars. You know, bro said, here's the thing everyone refuses to see. Bro wrote that and is basically sitting back and is trying to figure out, yo, so what do I write here? What does everyone refuse to see that only I see? What? Bro is actively just trying to now figure out a way to, like, write some mental gymnastics about why everyone has misinterpreted everything that has been stated. And, oh, now all of a sudden we're supposed to just believe him instead of what's written on the page. Yeah, I find that genuinely funny. I can't wait to read what they write. I genuinely can't. Man. After Chinjao's little helpers, I don't think we see anything, to be honest. It's fine. Island-sized ship in half with a single punch. What episode does Moria split? What the fuck? Moria split. What's this thing called? Thriller Bark. I bet I will be acclaimed that Naruto has more cultural influence, inspired more series, etc. Goalposts going to move because it's the exact same cycle every stream. Every Edo versus the Holy Knights. Probably the Holy Knights. The Holy Knights, I feel like people don't understand how fucking busted, like, how absolutely stupid it is that Gunko has a Devil Fruit that just lets her turn the direction, manipulate the direction in which an attack is going and or facing. Like, Imagine attacking Gunko with a massive fucking like fireball jutsu just for that her to like literally have an arrow that goes loop-de-loop and just sends it all the way back. I think that's so funny. Ah. I put cartoons dubbed. Maybe something about aim dodging. Oh yeah. Remember the time that Don Chinjiao aim dodged all those guys in order to, you know, just put that one aside for now. We don't need to talk about it anymore, but just know that the Narutoverse scales higher. But why? Why does the Narutoverse scale higher? You keep saying these things, but you're not really explaining why that's the case. You're just sort of just saying, well, it just scales higher though. Okay, but like, what's the reason? Well, it scales higher, but what's the reason? But because it scales higher, because it does. Okay, but like, I still need like a reason. Like, can you just provide for me anything that's gonna say it? No, well, I mean, here's the thing, Eon. You don't seem to understand. Here's the thing, Eon. And you and your subscribers and everybody else here doesn't seem to understand is that like it just scales higher. What do you mean? Okay, but like again, why does it scale higher? Because it does. So we're just gonna keep saying this. Yeah, no, because it does. Because it just simply does. Because Naruto has to scale higher than One Piece. Because that's what everyone said. And because random people on the internet have said it, and then it must be true. It's almost as if those random people had an opinion, and I went along with it, and instead of just saying, well, Eon, you and everyone else here have the opinion that One Piece scales higher, and instead of just saying, well, we can respect that, you know. Chinja used observation hockey to aim dodge the hollow continent because Gazelle Man was running through it at full speed carrying a Poo on his back who still hit Chinja with battle music. Yeah, you're right. That's totally true. I know I'm right with that. I'm not bringing up the Don Chinja feat anymore because it got old. Why did it get old? Why did it get old all of a sudden? I just asked you to explain to me what the reason was and you just all of a sudden stopped explaining what was the thing that everyone else seems to be missing. I'm still waiting on that, by the way. You know? Like... you can have as much time as you want. I'll give you time. No, you're not on a timer. You know what I mean? You can write down. Okay, so here's the reason. I'll even start off for you. Here's the comment. The thing that everyone seems to miss about Don Chinjiao's continental feat is, and then you can write down what your reasoning is. There. I just saved you a bunch of time as to what you should write for the beginning of it.
By personal feelings or opinions and considering and representing facts. What you just described is objectively not being objective, because your feelings and opinions about the One Piece anime are heavily influenced by your personal feelings and opinions.
It is the most dropped anime and the most non-wanting to watch anime to exist.
No, it's just not though, is it?
First off, there's only two anime from the old generation that could ever be put into the new generation and the next generation, and that is either Bleach or that is Dragon Ball.
As far as I'm aware,
Bro
1,000 Year
said
Blood War
Bleach.
doesn't even get that.
Bro said Bleach. Bro fucking said Bleach is a better fucking story. All right, that's fair.
Much hype. So go ahead and inform me. When's the last time someone brought up Bleach outside of a power scaling context?
And just so people know, One Piece has influenced zero manga.
But we're not going to talk about that time Bleach's 1,000-Year Blood War got outperformed by a One Piece filler episode. I suppose for a Bleach agenda that would be pretty counterproductive.
And you know how the Big Three is a term? Yeah, they made a new term called the Father of New Battle Shonen, and that's Bleach. Bleach was literally dubbed in 2024 the Father of New Battle Shonen.
Sounds super legit. By the way, did I mention that's not a fucking thing?
This comes from professionals. This is an official title.
Clearly.
He's not only a part of the Big Three, but he's part of the new Big Three. That's crazy.
There is no new Big Three, and even if there was, Bleach would not be invited. That's crazy.
Bleach and Dragon Ball are the greatest in the Big Three.
Dragon Ball's not part of the Big Three. I cannot believe we're still going into 2026 and having to explain this. And I'm not one of those TikTok readers who says Dragon Ball has no story, because that's flat fucking wrong, but to say that it would be one of the most influential pieces of media ever if it came out today is insanity. I also find it funny that the Bleach guy wants to talk about influence but won't talk about the riots with One Piece flags. And if influence is a valid metric, why aren't manga sales? One Piece handily outsold Bleach. On the topic of influencing new gens, I think most new gens fucking suck. That's not an accomplishment. If I teach 1,000 people how to drive and 700 of them get into car accidents, does that make me a good driver just because I taught 1,000 people? I know the video was for engagement, but I want this post to reach actual Bleach fans with crazy egos, because that describes a lot more of you than I'd like it to.
Imagine being so peak you last through every era, truly a generational anime. The anime for One Piece is trash.
Notice how all you have to do is appreciate your own series and someone's gonna come in and dunk on it. I'm not exactly...
That was a pretty good one, too.
TJ is my mutual, and Aura's staying blocked forever. I've never once replied to him, and he's made at least 50 plus videos on me. Okay, number one, it's not anywhere near 50, obviously. Number two, the reason I keep making videos about you is because you keep making uninformed takes, and I hope that eventually you'll see one of my videos and become slightly more informed. Then again, we're talking about the same 25-year-old man who, in his hubris, compared Charlie Kirk getting blasted in broad daylight to Saint Saturn from One Piece. Not only does your One Piece scaling not make sense in general, you don't even stick to your own rule. I've proven that multiple times. But then when you finally chose the One Piece narrative to get bullied on, that was when you decided enough was enough and blocked me. I'm pretty sure you've openly said multiple times you always favor Naruto in fights against One Piece characters, but you say that you do so out of rage bait. If your content's nothing but rage bait, why did you have such a knee-jerk reaction to me responding to you instead of melting down in your comments? The answer is Schrodinger's rage bait, and this needs to become a term. Someone makes a profoundly stupid statement and decides later whether or not they were rage baiting based on how competent the person they're arguing with is. If you can't refute me, I'm winning. If you can refute me, it's rage bait. If that's not the masculine flow state of a 25-year-old grown-ass tax-paying man, I don't know what is. I was in 5th grade when you were my age. This is sad. But I know better than to keep offering to debate you. That would require an ounce of testicular fortitude. The fact of the matter is that you're a spineless jackass with no knowledge and...
Okay. While I will say I don't necessarily condone the idea of calling people spineless jackasses, I mean, hey, it's your content, do whatever you want with it, that's still pretty funny. Bro really doesn't care. I really do respect that. I really, really do respect that. Oh, wait, Law versus Sanji?
Jubidara and Jubito versus Law and Sanji. Cash App in bio. I don't need 10, 15, or 100. We'll say Gear 2 is only a 5 times multiplier. Base Luffy pre-time skip dodges a shit ton of light-based attacks, but I'll just say this. Despite Foxy being able to produce and perceive his own light, pre-time skip Luffy, before he had gears, was able to perception blitz him. But for the sake of the argument, I'll say he's only light speed. Stack Gears 2 and 4 for 5 and 3 times multipliers respectively. That makes Gear 4 15 times light speed. Luffy surpasses his gears against Katakuri, reapply his multipliers. 15 times 15 is 225. Kaido speed blitzes and one-shots this version of Gear 4. Luffy comes back in base and surpasses his gears, meaning base Luffy is now 225 times light speed. Truthfully,
that's already been debunked. It's not, but it hasn't been debunked though. It hasn't been debunked, Boku no Minta, because you haven't even remotely debunked it in the slightest bit. All you just said is no, that's not true, even though I presented to you literally what is shown on the page. So what's the issue here? I don't get it. How has it been debunked? I don't like wasting people's time, and it got very old. Plus, I know I earned the first place. The Onoki feat. I mean, the Onoki feat isn't first place because, as I've explained to you before, lifting up that turtle, which again required no extra momentum on what was it? Onoki's on Onoki to lift somehow weighs less than a fucking meteor that's 80 meters tall. Yeah, okay. You haven't debunked anything. You're just acting like a child, dude. You're just acting like a child. Well, all right. Let's just say it's like playing someone in Smash Brothers and then they're saying, "Well, you're clearly cheating. Why are you beating me at Smash Brothers? You clearly have to be cheating. You're using broken characters. You're using tiered meta, bro. I'm using fucking King DDD, and I've never once played King DDD in my life. Well, the sun is in my eyes. My controller got wet. There's clear lag going on here. Like, come on, bro."
I could just scale Law and Sanji to that, and I think that would be enough. The best you're getting the Jinchuriki is 100 times light speed based on the 8 gates mistranslation. Their only win cons are disintegration with the TSOs and Limbo clones. Outside of that, Team One Piece is faster, and Conqueror's Haki negates immortality. It should be very clear why I have to lowball. You've heard me speed scale One Piece when I'm not. I don't even want to hear anything about bias. I like Obito more than anyone here, and it's not even close. Jubidara and
You like Obito more than these characters? That's fair. I think that's fair. Obito, I don't know why people hated Obito so much. I guess it was just because, I did everything that I did because the girl I like died. Which, to be fair, while I'm not going to defend Obito for that, because it was a pretty unreasonable crash out in my opinion. To be honest, yeah, he was going through it. And splitting an island-sized ship in half with a single punch, the continent polar oars essentially requiring the entirety of the Straw Hat crew just to fight him alone, Kuma blitzing the Straw first opponent where they all had to visibly team up just to fight him alone. Kuma blitzing the Continent Polar Ores. First time all of the Straw Hats team up on a single entity. The first time they team up on a single person. Let's put it at like 24. Let's put it at like 20. Punch the Continent Polar Ores, essentially requiring the entirety of the Straw Hat crew just to fight him alone. Kuma blitzing the Straw... I have like 14 minutes of audio for the actual video, just now getting to Luffy's Shippuden fights. Nice! When he states himself that that's not why he started the war. I just fuck with the white mask design, though. I fuck with the white mask design, too. I thought it was really fucking cool. I had an Obito for the longest time on Discord. I think I remember that, yeah. I think I remember you also having that. Yeah. What proves? Wait. Actually, no. I think when I added you on Discord, I think... no, you already had this, the Skylanders profile picture. You definitely had the Skylanders profile picture on. Just to fight him alone, Kuma blitzing the Straw Hats through Sabaody Archipelago and Whitebeard both creating island-sized tsunami. Kuma blitzing the Straw Hats through Sabaody Archipelago and Whitebeard both create and Whitebeard. Okay, so we'll do two separate seas. On splitting island-sized tsunamis and later on splitting the seas. I could go into detail about the post-time. I could go... tsunamis and later on splitting the seas. I could go... and later on... Okay, so, now that we've got all of that ready... just to make a comparison, yeah, so it's gonna be about a little over 3.5, maybe 4 seconds. Okay, yeah, it's fine. Okay, we're gonna get up to 11 minutes, and then I'm probably just gonna stop the editing right there. I'll just finish it. I'll finish off the entirety of it tomorrow. I wish I had as good of a voice as yours for making videos on my channels. I'd be feeling like people click on my videos because they hate my voice. A lot of the times, it's also just the mic quality. Is it? Do you think it's maybe the mic? Do you think Maki was off guard when she got hit by lightning? When Sukuna dropped it? Let me pull up those panels real quick. Back to back and spin it on a track. Back to back when it won't take it back. Back to back and spin it on a track and spin it on a track and spin it on a track. Back to back and spin it on a track. Back to back when it won't take it back. Back to back and spin it on a track and spin it on a track and spin it on a track. Back to back, back to back, back to back, and spin it on the track, and spin it on the track, back to back, back to back, back to back, and spin it on the track, and spin it on the track. You can argue no. I don't know if you can really argue that yes. If she got caught off guard by it, she would have seen Nue. I think she would have at least seen Nue first before, because you can see right here that like she at least is aware that something's going on. I don't know if she's looking directly at Nue or if it's because he's definitely looking up. So by the time that it comes down, maximum output Jacob's ladder. Holy shit, this thing is big. Oh, this looks way fucking crazier. Give him back. Give Megali belongs to me. I remember now. Thank you. I'm fine. No, Hannah. When it comes to you, Hannah, I've always... foolish human.
Clink. Huh? You're still here? Yo. I can, you can't see I forced you to look at, from today, you can't say I forced you to look at Fairy Tail's chapter anymore. What do you mean you can't say I forced you to look at Fairy Tail's chapters? What do you mean by that? You're clearly the one telling me to look shit up sometimes. I never said that you forced me to watch them. I don't think I've ever said you forced me to watch them. You just tell me check out this chapter for this, chapter for that, and it ends up just being some gooner shit. I get it, the boys from that time. Kenjaku does the grossest things. Why can't you jerks just live a normal life? Why do you have to spread misery? Allow me to ask, why are you so weak? You're weak, yet you cling to life. Continuing on your path means destruction. Yet you wish to be happy for as long as possible. I almost forget these guys are and always will be curses. You should spend your lives stifling your misery. Have a good one. Zahir versus Sukuna. I don't know who Zahir is. What do you think of Lampiao's design? The character from Lampiao manga, not the historical figure. He's one of the most popular Brazilian mangas. Sadly, got discontinued. Manga? Lampiao? Lampiao! I don't know. He looks okay, I guess. It's cool, I guess. Just a guy with glasses and a weird hat. Suki, my Pookie. Alright. You should be the one trying to stifle this misery. Come closer. Why is he so tough? No, that's not right. It's my cursed output that's low. Damn you, Megumi Fushiguro. So you guys are 3-0 for you and 6. So Legend of Korra season 3. Is that the airbending guy? Zahir. Is that the I think that's the airbending guy? Can airbenders sense changes in air pressure? How fast are they? I don't know how fast Avatar characters are. He's so good at fist fights while looking like Megumi. I mean, if he can't die, he can heal from his wounds. If he can't die, can he heal wounds from the split soul katana? Yuji, our goal is to stop that, even if it means killing Megumi. Yeah. Mind if I speed things up? Nope. They can, in fact. Okay. Yeah, he should be too slow, right? The Avatar characters aren't that fast. The body resists me, and it causes my earpiece when I'm hurting his allies. In that case, cleave. Okay. Haha, nice. Oh? Frost calm. I love this view. I offer my deepest apologies. It's fine for intervening. It's fine. I did make sure not to freeze Yuji Tadori too deeply, but I'm done with him. It doesn't matter. It was right to focus cursed energy on the girl. I need to polish up this form and prepare the bath. Yeah. Why are you reading JJK? Because somebody asked me to check something specifically about JJK out. We already have. It will require a short journey. As always, you attend to every detail. Super happy. I feel the fastest is lightning speed, considering that they are faster forms of bending. Those are the faster forms of bending. Light or consistently react to natural lightning. Cool. Cool. So then he just gets speed blitzed by Sukuna then. I tried giving JJK another chance, but the manga slows to a crawl in death painting, and I envy those who don't have to try to enjoy it. The death painting womb part is definitely kind of slow, but I think that Shibuya Incident onward, Shibuya Incident onward is where I probably think that, like, JJK gets really good. I also wasn't the biggest, like, JJK fan until I got to, like, Shibuya Incident and then onward. I will say that, like, there are portions of the Calling game when you're probably like, again, what the fuck's happening, but I don't know. I like Shinjuku Showdown kind of solidified it for me as one of my favorite mangas of all time. Lightning bending generates lightning, real, actual lightning. Cool. Dude, talking about some 3-0 after leaving after I slammed him like 40 times. I suppose that as well. To finish the Calling game, I merge. In order to establish such an insane game, I took a binding vow to end what was permanent. Then go do it. What are you doing here?
You don't want to hear how? Too bad. I'm interested in the bath. The bath is a ritual for returning a vessel that is cherished as a family treasure into a cursed tool to protect it from external threats. It means 10 months and 10 days of soaking the vessel in a solution with cursed energy obtained by crushing a choice selection of venomous creatures. Sounds nasty. You're doing that to cursed spirits? When killed, the cursed spirit turns into gust. The same is generally true for a severed human body, so I carefully wrung each one out, and then used my cursed energy to freeze corp parts, such as the head, to sever them. I Dyson filtered them. What's the point of soaking it to be near evil? Of soaking in it to be near evil and to submerge Megumi Fushiguro's soul. You're keeping that visage for now. This is better for fighting sorcerers. Shibuya is kind of boring. You think Shibuya incident is kind of boring? I heavily disagree, but that's fine. Kogane, where is Sumiki Fushiguro? Sendai. Players are no longer confined to the colonies, and she issued an invitation fight, but why in Sendai? You're exasperating. Yorozu is from Aizu. After countless years, she wants to visit her home, and Sendai is in the neighborhood. You're truly exasperating. Like, you can talk. Enough. Are you really leaving to fight her? Do you find that strange? You thought you'd just ignore... I thought you'd ignore her. It's always been one-sided between you two. Yorozu doesn't matter, but the vessel does. Ah, I understand. The destruction of Sumiki Fushiguro will allow me to completely bury Megumi Fushiguro. I'll give you a ride, so give me your points, please. No. This is way too sweet. He's come. The king of curses. You gonna step aside or not? Okay. Okay, what's the deal? I wanted to slice you in 3. You're not so bad. Sorry for underestimating you. Next time I'll fight for real. Granite. Ching. Oh, just cut his head off. Switch skins. Yeah, this mug's more handsome. Selzin's comment Ozai versus Sukuna. He still dies to a fucking cutting. He just gets his head slashed off. What are we talking about? Thoughts on the falling devil meta for Planetary Chainsaw Man? I don't know. You could probably say it's hacks, but I think somebody showed me some panel that said that like they scaled to it, so you can probably say planetary. Unless like they did it, unless it's not like a full, unless it's like it's not affecting the gravity of the entire planet and only of the state. I know that some people mentioned that like they're only affecting specific areas, so I don't know, man. What's this about? I see large endowments. A guy is isekai'd, then he is confronted by sisters who serve the goddess. In order to return to the real world, he must give them practical sex education. A solemn temple like I've never seen before, enveloped in the fragrance of flowers, and right before my eyes, a wise one, please teach us, teach me naughty things. What the okay, I definitely can't show this. I definitely cannot show that. 15 fingers Sukuna and Megumi's body speed blitzing and one-shotting somebody Yuta struggled with, by the way, Goat Kuna. What are you reading? I just clicked on a random thing, man. I don't know. What else do we have here? What's in here? What's in here? I don't want to see any of these. All right, I think that was nothing that you saw. The hit toner, the hit oneer. Hit toner, a single human earthling arrives on an isolated planet inhabited by beastkin known as Kemo, who are shaken to their cores at the size of the first Hito. Hitoner? Okay. Hitoner? Everyone in Shinjuku over 15 fingers Sukuna. That was the fast enough the guideline through the body, avoiding touching the heart. The moment would be applicable to combat speed and reaction speed. Thus, their society begins to transform, spurred by an interspecies exchange. Kind of trait skeletal. Things like us, however, our posture becomes more curved as our body sizes increase. O1, on the other hand, stands perfectly straight despite being much taller than Kemo, the beastkin of similar weight. Put meat down. I'm not asking to be lifted. As I thought. Okay. Is getting closer. It looks my feelings only confirms my feelings of disgust. The texture of this something similar to the paw pads, and the idea of the creature made up entirely of those should have conveyed its abnormality quite swiftly. Should I not require to touch it, I don't feel like I would ever need to. Miss Tonelico, while its body temperature should be slightly lower than ours, it's much warmer to the touch that it's lacking. Due to its lack of insulating body hairs. As for its odor, while it doesn't smell all that repugnant, it's usually warm in this area, due likely to heat dissipation. Miss Tonelico, my exhaustion must have gotten the better of me after days of continued species. Okay, the biggest advantage. Okay. Yeah, meow. Complete diagram, clothing, On many applicants, the Hito's physical, its 5 senses aside from sight, as well as its muscle strength, are all significantly inferior to ours. Aside from sight, as well as its muscle strength, are significantly inferior. Okay. I've come to fear him. He's not a cultureless, solitary creature in this world. Is to be put down? Why is he to be put? The monster cannot remain. He is far more advanced than us. That doesn't make it okay. So, but I'd never. Those at the top always inevitably come down on the ones below. This is a matter. Our goal is to buy enough time to look like death from emaciation, but that monster will be disposed of. Holy shit. Okay. Sure, I'll never forget the joy of coming to town and then waiting for me. You all taught me that we weren't alone in this universe, and despite how far we had neighbors out there. I'm sure how I appealed to you, but I love you with all my heart. I am officially a Kemoner. No matter what happens from here on out, I'm truly proud to have met you. Thank you for everything. Hitoshi Kanashima. I'm heading out to conclude. Okay, a single who speaks in popularity. You imbeciles, you have any idea what you're doing? Hitoshi is currently being held captive without food at the director's command. He's all alone in that room with no way of returning. Can save a single friend with no return home. Since that day, I've always been adjusting himself to matching and treating us accordingly. Because to that end, he saw us as neighbors, and for us to treat a friend who comes so far across space like he has, with such disrespect, simply because his body differs from ours, because his species different from ours, because we may not like that he's further along in an evolutionary sense. Any country that leaves him to die like this could never consider themselves civilized. We would be no better than beasts ourselves. We, for the sake of this man, would we not be regressed back to our primitive ancestors? Like how we should allow that monster among us. Hitoner morally bankrupt. She's just some Hitoner. You're supposed to be a public servant. Aren't you Hitoners ashamed of yourselves? What the hell's so bad about being a Hitoner? I don't know what a Hitoner is. I ain't about your damn business. It ain't about your damn business. Okay. Hey there. Things look good. Okay. Hitoshi recognized as an official diplomat of the planet known as Earth and grant remaining mission. May our bond last our eternity. Okay. Never subject to such disrespect. Is classified as a mammal. Be working together from here on out. Tonelico. There. Thank you. Okay. Okay. Due to the vocal cord differences described from ours, they have trouble producing our sounds, but Tonelico, they are nevertheless capable of speaking our language. Thank you. And thus began capable of truly understanding each other. They are our evolutionary companions. We are from far. That's funny. With exceedingly high intelligence and upright skeletal structure, the smooth hairless body bearing the top of our heads, they're miraculous beings that they're the ones bound. Seems interesting. Lady Tonelico, I don't believe this many photos of him swimming are absolutely necessary, but what we do have simply walks alongside her. These are records. Okay, known as the Hitoshi Kanashima. Okay, I think I've got the gist of what this is. Alright, this is cool. I like this. Anyway. No, it's not Beastars, but I will be heading out for now. I do have to go take care of a quick errand. I'm happy that we got some of the information out of the way, and I'm happy that we were able to edit as much as we did. We're almost done with the video. I should be able to finish it up at some point tomorrow. There we go. Ah, that's why. No, we're not going to be able to finish it up tomorrow. We'll have to do to 13. Yeah, no, we'll finish it on, tomorrow's Wednesday. We'll finish it by Thursday. No, we'll have this video up by Thursday, and then we're just going to do Naruto versus Luffy. I'm just going to finish out the thing. 6. I'll hit you up around, 6 p.m. for, Night Rain, alright? I have to, like, re-download it. Yes, I will be playing with you. Relax. Alright, have a good one, guys. Take care of yourselves. Peace out. Yeah.